Hours as some nasty weather blew through, a steady rain all night long. Then yesterday it poured all morning and afternoon long, and the game was called before it was even scheduled to begin. It has, for the time being anyway, at least stopped raining here in Denver, where the D-backs and the Rockies will try to play some portion of this series, although more rain is expected here this afternoon. It's an old-fashioned traditional doubleheader starting right now on Fox Sports Arizona. And good afternoon from Coors Field. Welcome to the broadcast. Steve Berthiaume, Bob Brenly along the way. We will attempt to play 2 games of this 3-game series between the Diamondbacks and the Rockies. BB, it's an old-school doubleheader, 20 minutes between games, and get them right back out there.
Yeah, you really like the idea of an old-school doubleheader, no game at noon, another game at 7 o'clock. This allows the guys to get into some rhythm and hopefully carry it from game 1 right into game 2.
Well, as we said, we'll do our best we can here to get both games in. More rain is in the forecast. Josh Colmenter starts game 1 for the Diamondbacks. Outstanding versus these Rockies a week ago at Chase Field.
Yeah, the second time in his last 3 starts, they really needed him to go out there and get deep into the ballgame, and he was able to do it against the Rockies, scattering 5 hits, did not allow an earned run in his 8 innings of work.
Only 102 pitches to get through 8 innings for Josh, 70 for strikes, no walks, and the 6 strikeouts. Mark Trumbo in the 2-hole today for Chip Hale. He's played 9 games here at Coors Field. He's got 7 home runs.
He was one guy that was really sad to see the rains on Monday and Tuesday, but he'll try to squeeze it all into a doubleheader here this afternoon. Some guys just feel very comfortable in certain parks. Trumbo feels comfortable here.
So game 1 is Josh Colmenter versus the lefty Tyler Matzik for the Rockies. When we come back, we'll take a look at the new craze that is sweeping the Diamondback clubhouse. What'll you do during a rain delay? Well, it's bottle cap baseball. We'll actually have some highlights when we come back. Stay tuned. Is brought to you in part by Cox Gigablast. How will you live the gig life? By Lone Butte Casino. You're in for more winning moments at Lone Butte Casino. And by Jack in the Box. Jack's hottest sandwich is back. Head to Jack in the Box for Jack's Blazing Chicken Sandwich.
Well, we hope we are just moments away from first pitch for Game 1 here at Coors Field in Denver. Our exclusive coverage of Diamondbacks baseball continues here on Fox Sports Arizona. I'm Todd Walsh inside the Arizona Diamondbacks dugout. The question, what's the hardest part about lengthy rain delays and rainouts? Well, it's cabin fever, and many players deal with it in a variety of ways. But in the last couple of days, we actually caught a few Diamondbacks playing their own version of bottle cap baseball. They have been hoarding bottle caps for a rainy day or two for weeks. Cliff Pennington is the founder and commissioner of the league. Some very spirited contests going on. Chase Anderson, as you saw, who was lights out against the Dodgers at Dodger Stadium the other day, not so much with the bottle cap. He had a variety of pitches, but as he told us, they weren't all working. Here's Chase Anderson on bottle cap baseball.
You know, the fastball command has not been there. I'm having to go to off speed early, and I'm getting raked right now. Cliff has hit 2 grand slams off me today.
You're kidding.
No, I'm not kidding. But the cutter, I got the cutter working now pretty well.
Do you have a purpose pitch, though? Because I've seen a lot of guys take one on the skin here.
Yeah, when they start raking me, I try to buzz the tire a little bit, get them off the plate.
All right, I'm going to get out of here, but where's the home run? How does it work?
Judge based on how well you hit it. So when you hit one as good as I hit one off Chase, it counts like a slam.
It's a feel thing, right?
Yeah, it's a feel.
Kids playing a game. It is, after all, a game. Bottle cap baseball. Nothing like it. High entertainment value here at Coors Field over the last couple of days. When we come back, the real version of this game. Josh Goldmenter finally gets the start against the Rockies in Game 1 of 2. We think. Steve and Bob when we return.
Downtown Denver, Steve Berthew, Bob Brentley, and Todd Walsh with you. 61 degrees under mostly cloudy skies as we get set for the first game of a doubleheader, 20 minutes between games. We're going old school here to try and play at least 2 of this 3-game series. Your Arizona 4 starting pitcher, Game 1 for Colorado, 24-year-old left-hander Tyler Matzik, working on 3 extra days of rest. Here's hitting coach Turner Ward.
When his fastball starts getting away from him, he'll just kind of lose it. And when he does, he goes straight to his breaking ball pitches. And so sometimes you have to have awareness of that, and maybe it might be an in-box awareness. But, he's a fastball pitcher. He pitches off his fastball, and he's going to attack with that. So, we're a fastball hitting club, and we want to continue to stay that way.
Well, Matzik unbeaten on the year, a 2-0 record, a 2.70 ERA.
You mentioned that outing against the Diamondbacks. His last start, he probably needed a couple of extra days since that last outing. He had to come out after the 5th inning with cramps in his hamstring, so should be fully recovered and ready to go here this afternoon.
He has been probably the Rockies' most consistent starting pitcher so far this year, working on 3 extra days of rest after they flip-flopped the rotation and then had the 2 rainouts. Ender Inciarte swings at the first pitch he sees and grounds out to Justin Morneau. 1 pitch, 1 out. Here is the lineup, which has remained for Chip Hale unchanged over the last 3 days.
Ender Inciarte leading off in left field. Mark Trumbo out in right. Paul Goldschmidt, National League Player of the Week. You see his numbers for an outstanding week for Goldie. A.J. Pollock cleaning up in center field. Yasmani Tomas at third. Aaron Hill at second base. Jordan Pacheco doing the catching. Nick Ahmed at shortstop, and Josh Colmenter on the mound.
And for the first time in Mark Trumbo's career, he is starting a baseball game, batting second in the order. This is his 6th year in the big leagues. First time ever for Mark, hitting in the 2-hole. He's at 286 with 11 RBIs. And the reason for that, as we outlined in our open, he's played 9 games in this ballpark in his career, and in those 9 games has homered 7 times. Those are the career numbers for Mark here at Coors Field after a quiet series in L.A. over the weekend. 1 single and 1 walk in 13 plate appearances. He's ahead, 3 balls and no strikes.
You see those numbers for Mark Trumbo in this ballpark, and you get the feeling that the raindrops weren't the only thing that soaked the field. I bet Mark Trumbo was crying Monday night when that game was banged.
When he gets it up in the air here, it goes. It was a long night here Monday. A 4-pitch walk. They've seen the numbers as well. Very careful with Trumbo, and now they'll pitch to Goldie. This is the Rockies defensively around Tyler Matzik. They're left-handed.
Corey Dickerson in left field. Charlie Blackmon out in center with Carlos Gonzalez in right field. It'll be Nolan Arenado and Troy Tulowitzki on the left side of the infield with DJ LeMahieu and Justin Morneau on the right side. Former U of A product Nick Hundley doing the catching for left-hander Tyler Matzik.
And remember, Nolan Arenado at third last week at Chase Field was a one-man defensive highlight show. He is spectacular down there at third base for Colorado. Here's Goldie. He looks at strike one. Adrian Johnson, our plate umpire for game 1. Goldie 4th in the National League in hitting with that .356 average. Tied for 2nd in the league in RBIs, and he's 2nd in OPS. Not a bad year. National League Player of the Week last week. A ball and a strike. Paul Goldschmidt has hit safely in 6 straight games. 5 of those are multi-hit games. And he begins this series with 15 hits in his last 27 at-bats and holding a 9-game hitting streak against these Rockies. He has raised his batting average for the season by 86 points over the last 6 games. Able to hold up there. It's 2 balls and a strike. And Goldie had 3 consecutive 3-hit games against Colorado in last week's series at Chase Field. A.J. Pollock, his first ever start in the cleanup spot. A new look for Chip Hale today. Trying to get this offense kick-started after a quiet weekend in Los Angeles. Trumbo holds it first. That misses up and away. It's 3-1.
It's clear that Tyler Matzik is trying to pick his battles here. He picks very carefully to Mark Trumbo, lost him to the base on balls. 1 pitch away from losing Goldie as well.
He will get a little wild from time to time. He's walked as many as he struck out this year, but has done a good job for the Rockies. 20 innings pitched on the season, only 18 hits allowed, and that 2-0 record. No action as of yet in the bullpen. 3-1. Back-to-back 1-out walks for the Diamondbacks. A good start here. Here comes AJ.
One of the concerns you have as a manager when you start flipping guys into unfamiliar spots in the lineup is that they'll change their swing in some way, shape, or form. We know A.J. Pollock is a line drive hitter with power. He'll hit the ball from gap to gap. If you make a mistake, he could possibly hit it out of the ballpark, but Just get a good pitch and hit it hard somewhere right here. You don't have to suddenly become a power hitter because
well, the key is getting that good pitch. So far, 10 pitches for Matzik, only 2 of them strikes. And he misses again to start out Pollock, who's at 284 on the year. And his first career start in the cleanup spot. This has been, in fact, the only spot in the lineup in which A.J. had never started a ball game. Trumbo is the runner at second, Goldschmidt at first. And Tyler Matzik cannot throw a strike.
Well, while the Rockies are talking it over on the mound, let's take a look at our Valley Honda keys to the game. We need the ace to pitch like an ace once again. Twice in his last 3 starts, Josh Colmenter has been asked to go out to the mound after the bullpen was a little ragged from the day before, and both times Josh was able to answer the bell. And it started out being lineup roulette for the Diamondbacks only, with Trumbo hitting second and Pollock hitting fourth, but Walt Weiss made 3 changes to his original lineup that he had in there on Monday.
Talked himself out of a few things, including hitting the pitcher 8th. Another ball there from Matzik.
Same cast of characters for Walt Weiss. He just hit him in different spots in the lineup. For whatever reason, we don't know.
Well, he walked Trumbo, he walked Goldie, and now he's 3-0 on A.J. Pollock. 13 pitches so far, 11 of them balls. 3 straight walks have loaded the bases with 1 out. And here comes Yasmani Tomas. Steve Foster sprinting out to the mound, the Rockies pitching coach.
He's not even coming close. It's one thing if a pitcher's nibbling around the edges of the zone and just missing by a couple of inches or just missing his spot by a little bit, but he's been all over the place here in the first inning.
8 straight balls, and as we mentioned, Tyler Matzik is working on 3 extra days rest, which may have impacted his ability to throw strikes here. The Rockies changed the rotation around over the weekend. They were in San Diego. They flip-flopped Kyle Kendrick and Matzik. Kendrick really struggling badly in his first season here. He pitched Sunday at San Diego. Matzik goes on 3 days rest here today. Jorge De La Rosa pitched Saturday against the Padres, so they pushed Matzik back so he would not be following De La Rosa in the rotation. They could avoid throwing back-to-back lefties, so it's been a long stretch of no action for Matzik, and it seems to have impacted his command here. As Yasmani Tomas steps up with the bases loaded and 1 out. 9 straight balls.
I mean, you're almost to the point now, the way Matzik is spraying it around, you've got to take until he shows he can throw a strike again, which is not usually Yasmani Tomas's calling card. He likes to hack at the first thing he sees close to the strike zone.
278 with 4 RBIs, a pair of extra base hits. There's a strike, and it gets behind Hundley. And a round of sarcastic applause comes up from the Rockies fans here with us this afternoon.
I was going to say, Nick Hundley was shocked the one actually went over the plate. He dropped it. He's been making like a goalie back there to the first 4 hitters of the ball game. Actually had a pitch right down the middle and couldn't catch it.
Chance to put a crooked number up on the board here in the top of the first for the Diamondbacks. Tomas 0 for 4 with a pair of strikeouts in Sunday's game at Dodger Stadium. 1 for 2 so far this year with the bases loaded. Here's another strike from Matzik, and now he's ahead in the count, a ball and 2 strikes. He may get a standing O if he throws one more. Trumbo is the runner at third, Goldschmidt at second, and Pollock at first. He rings up Tomas. Well, he went up there looking, and he looked at 3 of them.
Well, I said you may have to take a strike, not 3 strikes. Matzik, after spraying them all around, suddenly finds the zone. 3 called strikes on Yasmani Tomas for the second out of the inning.
And now they're going to need a 2-out hit from Aaron Hill to take advantage of this 3-walk gift here in the first. Aaron in there at 196 on the year. He's hit safely in 4 straight games in 5 of his last 6, and he looks at ball 1. There's a strike, 1-1. Aaron Hill lifts it in the air to right center field, but Charlie Blackmon is there in the gap, and the Diamondbacks get 3 walks in that first inning and cannot get a run across. We are underway in downtown Denver. And now we go to the home half here at Coors Field, and your Arizona Ford starting pitcher for the D-backs, 29-year-old right-hander Josh Colmenter. He's been outstanding lately. Here's bullpen coach Mel Stottlemyre Jr.
You know, the one thing that we all know that we're going to get in Josh Colmenter is he's not going to beat himself. You know, he throws enough strikes. He pitches as good off his fastball as anybody that we have, and it's not something that's electric by any means, but the command of it, he gets himself in good counts. You know, everybody in baseball knows that he's got a plus changeup, and he's got a very serviceable breaking ball.
Josh, a 2-3 record. The ERA has been sinking like a stone. It's down to 2.76 on the year as Charlie Blackmon tries to bunt for a base hit from the leadoff spot. And Nick Ahmed, with the shift on, the only guy over there for the Diamondbacks, throws it over the head of Goldie at first, and Blackmon's aboard. Tomas, the third baseman, was playing in the second base spot. That's a base hit for Blackmon.
Nick Ahmed not playing deep at all. He was in at the edge of the grass, but over near the shortstop position, so Blackmon gave it a shot. Aaron Hill right there to back up the overthrow and toss to Goldie, who did what he's supposed to do, go ahead and apply a tag. Maybe the umpire saw Charlie Blackmon make an effort to go to second, but he did not, so he's safe at first with an infield hit.
And the leadoff man aboard for Corey Dickerson. And now Tomas will go back to his spot at third base. They take the shift off for Dickerson, who's in there at 292 with 5 homers.
We talked about Josh's last start against the Rockies. You may recall that was after Archie Bradley had been knocked out of the game after an inning and a third the night before. Had to use 5 relief pitchers to get through that final 7 2/3 innings. And Josh came out the next day and throws 8 innings of 1 run unearned.
That's in the seats and out of play. Yeah, Josh, the ERA has just been going down, down, down. It's down to 2.76 for the year. The numbers last week against the Rockies: 8 innings of 5 hit ball, no walks and 6 strikeouts, and only 102 pitches to get through 8 full.
Yeah, his stuff was really good when he beat the Rockies on April 29th. They gave up a lot of weak contact, a lot of lazy fly balls to the opposite field, lazy ground balls to the opposite side of the infield.
They retired 12 straight at one point in that ball game. Blackmon takes off. Broken bat is collected by Ahmed, and Dickerson is retired, but Blackmon moves up 90 feet.
Yeah, that ball was caught in the air by Nick Ahmed right there, and then the throw back to first turns it into a base cleaning double play.
Nowhere for Blackmon to go there as he was running on the pitch. So 2 down for Tulo. Troy Tulowitzki just under 300 for the year. He's already hit 12 doubles, second only to the Cardinals' Matt Carpenter for the major league lead, and he takes a big cut at that one. Diamondbacks going to the overshift for the right hand hitting Tulowitzki. 3 infielders on the left hand side. And Goldie all by himself over there, really halfway between the first and second base bags.
That's about as far off of first base as you'll see any first baseman play, even with an exaggerated pull shift to the left side.
Well, every time you pitch Tulowitzki inside, anywhere on the inner half at all, he sort of gives you that move he just did with his sort of jumps back and sticks his arms up in the air, gets up on his toes, hits by direction for Tulo.
Ryan Sandberg used to do that too. You know, he'd act like, oh, don't pitch me in there. Oh, I don't want that ball in there. And then at some point in the game with runners in scoring position, he'd look for a pitch inside and hit it out onto Waveland Avenue.
So it's a sales job, huh? Foul ground, third base side. Ahmed and Tomas are over there, and Nick reaches into the seats, but it's out of play.
I think with a little more experience in this ballpark, Nick Ahmed would get over there to the barrier first. He kind of measured his steps so that he got to the wall at the same time the ball was coming down. Ideally, you'd like to see your defender get over there as quickly as possible and then adjust back to the playing field if you have to.
A lot of ground to cover in this ballpark, although not a tremendous amount of foul territory. So it's 2-2 on Tulo. And Coleman strikes him out. We are through one, finally playing ball here at Coors Field. The Diamondbacks and Rockies are scoreless as we head to the second. Padres, you'll get to spend quality family time during the ball game, and she'll get to take home this special Mother's Day ladies tea courtesy of Fry's Food Stores. Get your tickets right now at dbacks.com. Rockies lefty Tyler Matzik, after a first inning during which he threw 21 pitches, only 7 for strikes, walked 3 all in a row, and somehow got out of it, is back out there for the second inning now, facing former Rocky Jordan Pacheco. Pacheco, Ahmed, and Coleman are bottom third of the Diamondback order. And Matzik is right back to losing a handle on the strike zone. He's behind Pacheco 2-0. Jordan in there at 280 for the year. He's hit safely in 4 straight games, including a home run against these Rockies last week at Chase Field. There's a strike. Three and one. Matzik has faced the D-backs 3 times so far in his young career. He's got a pair of victories, and in those starts has pitched to a 2.65 ERA. But pitching on extra rest here this afternoon, he has been all over the map. He misses inside. 4th walk of the ball game issued by Tyler Matzik.
And odd to see him go with a breaking ball there in a 3-1 count. Perhaps Nick Hundley just trying to go to one of his secondary pitches to get him back into the strike zone, but kind of odd to see a breaking ball on 3-1.
Matzik in 20 innings of work this year had walked 13, struck out 13, but he's walked 4 in 1+. And now he'll work to Nick Ahmed. Nick at 143 on the season for the Diamondbacks. He's hit safely in 3 of his last 4 starts. And when you're trying to play a doubleheader here and only 20 minutes of rest in between games, I imagine that any skipper would like to see his game 1 starter go at least 5, 6, 7 innings somewhere in there.
Absolutely.
But Matzik is not headed that way so far here. Kicks away from Hundley, and Pacheco moves up 90 feet. He walked Trumbo, Goldie, and Pollock all in a row with 1 out in the first, and then Yasmani Tomas had an entire at bat in which he did not swing at a pitch and looked at 3 strikes. And then Aaron Hill lined out to center, and that was the inning.
As much as he struggled to find that zone against Trumbo, Goldschmidt, and Pollock, he quickly found it for Yasmani Tomas. Jeez.
And his last 6 starts at Coors Field dating back to last year, the numbers have been outstanding. 3 and 1, a 1.95 ERA. That's since the All-Star break last year. And he still cannot throw a strike. 3-0 to Ahmed.
Well, you would certainly assume that Nick's going to take at least 1 strike here in this at bat if Matzik can throw one.
Nope. His 5th walk so far. He has walked 5 of the first 8 Diamondbacks he's faced in the ball game. 30 pitches, 22 of them balls. And here's Josh Colmenter. 1st and 2nd, nobody out. Well, he somehow walked the high wire act and escaped undamaged in the 1st. We'll see how he does here in the 2nd. The corners will come in for the Rockies. Arenado will foot on the grass at 3rd. Morneau playing in front of the runner. Ahmed at 1st. Colmenter squares and fouls it off.
This is the toughest time for a pitcher to put down a sac bunt. Everybody in the ballpark knows that Josh is going to be attempting to move those runners up. As you mentioned, Morneau was in at first base. Arenado's already drawn in at 3rd. This is when you're really tested. Your bunting ability is really tested to deaden that ball in front of the Rockies infield.
Just the 2nd time Matzik has thrown strike 1 in the ball game so far. The 1st time through the Diamondback lineup. Colmenter pulls back. It's a ball 1-1. Boy, last time out against the D-backs Monday at Chase Field, he was terrific. Tyler Matzik, 2 runs, 5 hits, 5 innings. Got his 2nd win. He's still yet to give up a base hit. Colmenter pulls back in time again, and it's 2 balls in a strike.
I'm really puzzled by the pitch selection. Generally, when you have a pitcher up there to put down a sac bunt, the conventional wisdom is you throw high fastballs, try to get him to bunt the ball in the air. Matzik threw a slider on that last delivery.
Morneau again coming well in on the grass at first. Colmenter gets the bunt down. They'll have the force at third. And they turn the double play as Colmenter bunts into a double play. So once again, the Diamondbacks can't take full advantage of these gifts from Tyler Matzik. They'll have Ahmed at second now and 2 outs for Inciarte.
He's got that ball too much of the barrel. You can see he bunted it on a hop almost all the way back out to the pitcher's mound. And being a left-handed thrower, that turned into an easy 1-5. Was that 3 or 4 double play? 4. Second baseman was covering the bag at first. So if you're scoring at home, that's a 1-5-4 double play for the Rockies.
Ender Inciarte swung at the first pitch he saw and grounded out to first base. And he looks at strike one. Ender's hit safely in 9 of his last 10 games. Started the day hitting .315 on the year. And the on-base percentage for the season is over .350. In there for a strike, 1-2.
Of course, the big concern is Matzik will settle in and find the edges of that strike zone, and you'd hate to look back at the end of the ball game and say, man, we had opportunities in those first 2 innings to blow this wide open before he found his command.
Bases loaded, 1 out in the first. First and second, nobody out in the second. Did not go. Doug Eddings down there at third. It's even 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Slider down. Inciarte easily able to check that time. Good call by Doug Eddings down at third base.
Ender lifts it over the glove of Tulowitzki. Here comes Ahmed, and the Diamondbacks will get 1 run across. They take a 1-0 lead. A big RBI 2-out single from Ender Inciarte. Oh, Matzik almost got away with it.
Oh, one's better than none. Takes a little soft line drive and a 1-2 count. Nice inside out approach that time by Ender Inciarte. Just wanted to hit it to the big part of the field. And gets the first run of the game on the plate.
Brings up Mark Trumbo. Mark walked his first time up. You'll hear that a lot this afternoon. After Matzik walked 5 of the first 8 batters he faced in the ballgame. And Trumbo has always had big games here at Coors Field. 9 career games, 7 homers, 17 RBIs in this ballpark to go along with all those home runs. In fact, 7 of his 10 career hits here at Coors Field have been homers.
Oh, yeah, none of them to his pull field have been cheapies in this ballpark. You can see what Mark Trumbo has done. The deepest part of the park is out there in just to the left of straightaway center where that 446 is. Yeah, certainly Mark's got enough power to hit it out to any part of the ballpark, but if he gets a hold of it to his pull field, expect big numbers.
Yeah, they tend to come in bunches for Mark here at Coors. Cunley having problems today just holding on to the baseball. With Matzik now at 40 pitches in the ball game. Only 13 strikes. That one's in there at 89. It's 1-1. And Trumbo just destroyed Colorado pitching in last week's 3-game series between these two at Chase Field. What a series Mark had. 7 hits in 12 at-bats. couple of doubles, a triple, a home run. He had 5 RBIs in the series. There goes Inciarte. Pitches outside. The throw from Hundley is not in time. And Ender Inciarte has his 4th stolen base of the year.
Pretty good jump that time by Ender Inciarte. Head down, running straight to the bag, which usually indicates it's just a straight steal on his part, trying to get into scoring position here for Mark Trumbo.
Hundley had a pretty good pitch to throw on, too, there. Up and away from the right-hand hitting Trumbo, who's in there now with a count of 2 balls and 1 strike, and Inciarte in scoring position. Goldie on deck. And now Hundley and Matzik trying to get on the same page. Boy, to say he has labored so far through 1 2/3 would be an understatement.
Yeah. And with another game looming after this one, I'm sure Walt Weiss doesn't want to get into the bullpen early in game 1, so he's probably going to let Matzik go as long as he can in this game.
I have to go out there and wear it for a while if you can't get this under control. Bullpen is still quiet. We're going to continually update that shot. 2-1. Trumbo sends a fly ball out to Gonzalez in right field. And it's gone, a home run. Well, Mark Trumbo's at it again. It carried over the head of Cargo in right field. It just kept going, and it's out of here. And Mark Trumbo's 3rd of the year has made it 3-0 D-backs. We saw that over the weekend, Bob, at Dodger Stadium. We're used to seeing it here at Coors Field. Not quite like that, however.
Well, and Carlos Gonzalez really deked us out there in right field. He was backpedaling as if he had an easy play on that ball. Looked like it was going to be the 3rd out of the inning, but it just kept carrying and carrying. Right near that out-of-town scoreboard in right center field. And out of here.
A 2-1 pitch, his 3rd of the year, and it's 3-0, and here's Goldie. Mark Trumbo. Now with 11 career hits at Coors Field, 8 of them home runs. Well, a good call by Chip Hale so far to put Mark Trumbo in the 2-hole for the first time in Mark's career. And Goldie's up there with a 2-0 count. That's just the 2nd home run given up all year by Tyler Matzik. That one is behind Goldschmidt right after the home run. And obviously this is a guy who cannot find the strike zone. He's walked 5 through 1 2/3. And that one looked like it just got away from him. Three-0 is in there for a strike. And the Rockies bullpen will get busy. Christian Bergman begins throwing for Colorado. That's down a play. It's 3-2.
Not unusual to see relief pitchers warming up, perhaps even pitching in game 1, and see them warming up and possibly pitching in game 2 as well.
That kind of a day. If we get both these games in again, there is rain in the forecast for this afternoon. Goldschmidt strikes out to win the 2nd, but the Diamondbacks get a pair of big 2-out hits. Ender Inciarte with an RBI single to make it 1-0, and then Mark Trumbo, his 3rd of the year. D-backs lead it 3-0. The homer in the top of the second inning has given the Diamondbacks a 3-0 lead as we start the home half of the second, and on what we anticipate would be a long day here. It's been 35 minutes for the first inning and a half, as Tyler Matzik has walked 5 so far through 2 and trails at 3-0. Justin Morneau, 272 and a pair of home runs, leads off the Rockies' second against Josh Colmenter, who had a 9-pitch first. 6 of those pitches were strikes. And the shift is on for the left-hand hitting Morneau. Tomas, the third baseman, standing in the second base spot, and Aaron Hill halfway out to right field. Broken bat right back to Colmenter, 1 away. That was shattered, and the broken part up in the seats. Everybody's okay, fortunately.
Thank goodness everybody paying attention over there on the first base side. Josh badly jams Morneau with a cut fastball right in on his fist. The ball just floated out toward the mound, but the barrel of that bat went helicoptering into the stands over there. Fortunately, it seems like everybody's okay.
High fives all around. Careful with the sharp end of that thing.
Not to mention the pine tar in the middle there. That'll get all over your pretty purple golf shirt.
Nolan Arenado swings at the first pitch and skies it to very shallow left field. Ahmed going out, Inciarte calls him off, and quickly 2 down in the Rockies' second. Brings up Carlos Gonzalez.
For Josh Colmenter, there's always a hitter or two in every lineup that you have a bad history against, and Cargo would be one of the Rockies hitters. 333 lifetime with a couple of home runs. Just for me, Cargo, his power is all to his pull field. You rarely see him really drive the ball to left or left center, so I would expect Josh just to stay away. Fastball outside corner.
Cargo, the bat has been quiet all year. Good numbers career, as Bob mentioned, against Colmenter. A couple of home runs, but Cargo hitting an even 200 for the season. And despite the fact he says he feels great, totally healthy for the first time in a while, he's had that slow start. Trying to get that swing ironed out. He says he's trying to use the whole field, and as Bob mentioned, Cargo says when he's doing well, he can hit to left with power and line drives into the gap. That's when he's really clicking. And when he sees that coming off his bat, he knows that something good is coming up. He's still trying to get that groove back, though.
You can see after strike 1 away with the first pitch, the last 3 cutters all off the plate inside. Josh apparently trying to tie Cargo up in there. You expect him to go back away now in a hitter's count.
There it is. He misses. Oh, hold on, Adrian Johnson says. Strike 2.
A lot of late movement on that sinking, tailing changeup. Yeah, it's close.
Wow.
It was close.
And he's really swinging the bat well, Cargo. Hitting the ball to right field with power. He'll come close to that new rooftop section up there. It'll pop up behind the second base bag. Tomas, the shift is on, calling for it, but he'll yield to Ahmed. And it's another 1-2-3 inning for Josh Colmenter, who's got a 3-0 lead.
going, and we've been struggling a little bit offensively, and get a big bat up there early in the game. And like I told the reporters, mathematically, he'll get up more in a game if he's in the 2-hole. So he has good numbers against this team, and we like to get him up there a bunch of times.
Might be the understatement of the day. Good numbers against this team. Steelers, your manager, Chip Hill. The Diamondbacks, simple breakdown on why Mark Trumbo is batting second. A little bit later on this afternoon, we'll hear from Mark. In his words, as he said yesterday, I'm excited. And I think he just proved it.
Yeah, Todd, 8 home runs, 19 RBIs in 10 games at Coors Field. And all 8 homers have come in the last 8 games in this ballpark. A.J. Pollock walked his first time up. There's a lot of guys, a lot of sabermetricians will tell you that you should always hit your best guy in the 2-hole. There's all kinds of mathematical formulas that tell you that's where he should go. Usually it's 3 or 4, of course, but so far so good for Trumbo in the 2-hole for the first time in his career, a walk and a home run. And once again, Matzik is all over the place. He's behind on A.J. 3-0.
I've used this term before, keyholing. Hitters keyholing against an opposing pitcher. A guy like Matzik that's spraying it all around. Look for one pitch in one zone when you have that count in your favor.
Well, he has just walked his 6th batter of the ball game through 2+ innings. 6 walks matches a season and career high for Tyler Matzik. He had 6 walks in a game last month against the San Diego Padres. And Nick Hundley is out there trying to talk him off the ledge. Matzik, his first time out this year, lasted only 4 innings against the Cubs. Walked 3 in that ball game. Next start out at San Francisco, 1 walk in 6 innings. Then the start where he walked 6 Padres in 5 innings. And he walked 3 Diamondbacks in 5 innings in his last start last week at Chase Field. Bergman still throwing in the Rocky bullpen.
Hey fans, anytime the D-backs score 5 runs or more, Taco Bell is giving away 3 free tacos with the purchase of a large drink between 4 and 6 the following day at participating locations.
Leadoff man aboard for Yasmani Tomas, who was a little too patient in his first at bat. Struck out with the bases loaded. Looking at 3 strikes. There's ball 1.
You know the Rockies have to score 7 runs for their fans to get 3 tacos.
Well, it is Coors Field.
Yeah. Do they keep the tacos in the humidor?
What would happen to a taco in a humidor?
I'm not sure.
I want to look into that.
Well, maybe during the 3rd rain delay in the 2nd game, we'll have somebody run. Maybe Todd can run down and check the humidor and see if there's any tacos or burritos.
Do you mind if we just put some tacos in here for a while to see what happens?
This is a science fair project.
Sure, let me open it up for you. 3-0 now to Tomas. This is kind of amazing. 56 pitches for Tyler Matzik, only 18 strikes. There goes A.J. That's in there for a strike, and A.J. Pollock has a stolen base. That's his 5th of the year.
I'm a big fan of that 3-0 run. Most pitchers don't pay any attention. The defenders in the infield kind of relax on a 3-0 pitch, assuming that the batter is going to take it. Well, as a base runner, take advantage of that. Pitcher wasn't paying any attention to A.J. Middle infielders weren't ready to break.
That's a fair ball down the right field line. Pollock can come in and score, and Tomas will stop at first with an RBI single. It's 4-0 D-backs. Sean Barber, the first base umpire, right down there. Just a slow roller near the bag, but it stayed on the proper side for the Diamondbacks, and they lead it 4-0. And the D-backs so far 3 for 6 with runners in scoring position.
It wasn't a great pitch to swing at, wasn't a pretty swing, but it produced a great result. I think Walt Weiss has seen enough.
We got a long day of baseball ahead of us here, and this is not what the Rocky skipper had in mind. As Matzik walks 6, gives up 4 runs in 2+ innings, and leaves responsible for 1 base runner. Pitching change at Colorado. D-backs lead at 4-0. Back after this. is brought to you in part by your Valley Honda dealers, where you'll get more standard features for less money. CenturyLink, your link to what's next. And by Mix One, great taste, no face, available at local retailers. We are playing ball in downtown Denver. Diamondbacks have another run in here in the third, and they've knocked Tyler Matzik out of the ball game. Christian Bergman is on for the 7th time this year, a 1.26 ERA. As the Rockies long man, and he throws strike one to Aaron Hill. And a round of applause comes up from the Rocky fans. Bergman has made one start this year. His last 4 appearances have all been in relief, and every time he's gone at least 2 innings. And they may look for a little more than that here today, as Aaron Hill drops that one into left for a base hit. First 3 have reached for the Diamondbacks in the third.
Bergman got it features a fastball, a changeup, and a slider as his 3 main weapons. The changeup, however, occasionally he'll really slow down his delivery. He did on that last delivery to Aaron Hill, really slowed down, left the changeup up. And the fewest innings pitched per game by the team starting pitchers, and that number is going to go down even more today.
So Aaron Hill has now hit safely in 5 straight. Here's the former Rocky Jordan Pacheco. Walked his first time up. And he looks at strike one. Bergman in here throwing strikes. Jordan Pacheco, 4 seasons with Colorado, hit .281 as a Rocky. And he's a .318 career hitter here at Coors Field, including 7 home runs. Bergman ahead 0-2. Tiny little blue patches over our heads. First time we've seen that all week here, but some dark clouds as well. Rain is anticipated later on this afternoon as we try and get 2 games here in this 3-game series before it's back home after the second game. Back home to Chase Field, start a 4-game series against the Padres tomorrow on the first Throwback Thursday of the year. That'll be fun.
Looking forward to that.
And purple uniforms will be out tomorrow, so we hope to see you at Chase Field for Throwback Thursday. Get your tickets, dbacks.com/tickets. 0-2 on Pacheco. Hard to short. Tulowitzki backhands it, and LeMahieu turns 2. Tomas in at third, 2 down.
Hard hit ball right at Tulo. That's the way most double plays get started. A hard grounder right at an infielder. Easy turn for LeMahieu at second base, but Yasmani Tomas moves up to third for Nick Ahmed.
Nick walked and scored his first time up. Tulowitzki one more time. The backhander, the jump throw, and it is in time. Troy Tulowitzki saves a run right there and makes a terrific defensive play to win the top of the 3rd inning. But the Diamondbacks add another run. Bottom 3rd coming up. They lead it 4-0. lines than what we've had here so far through 2.5 innings at Coors Field. D-backs lead the Rockies 4-0. Josh Colmenter so far 2 innings, only 19 pitches, 12 of them strikes. Tyler Matzik lasted 2+ and walked 6, tied a career high, 58 pitches, only 20 strikes. And Nick Hundley, the catcher, leads off the Colorado third. And Hundley off to a very good start to his Rockies career after signing a free agent contract over the winter. He's hitting nearly .330. And he begins today with a 9-game hitting streak. 1-1.
Tyler Matzik walked as many guys in the first inning tonight as Josh Colmenter has all season.
Colmenter only 3 walks all year in 5 starts. A line to right to Ahmed, 1 away.
Diamondback starters have been on quite a roll. That first time through the rotation, there were a lot of question marks, but since April 15th, Diamondbacks trail only the Pirates for lowest starters ERA.
And Josh Colmenter, outstanding against these Rockies in his last start. He has really rebounded after a lukewarm beginning to his season. Josh in his last 3 starts has pitched to an ERA of 1.17. He's given up just 1 hit so far. A bunt single by Charlie Blackmon to lead off the ball game. He was erased on a double play ball. Here's DJ LeMahieu. You see the average right there for the Rockies' Gold Glove second baseman. 392, third in the major leagues. He's behind only D. Gordon, who's hitting .422 for the National League lead. Adam Jones of the Orioles is at .396 for the year. He's tops in the American League. 2-1 is rolled to shortstop. Ahmed there one more time. Quickly 2 down. Let's take a look at our T-Mobile game-changing player. And we mentioned Josh Colmenter's last 3 starts, 2-1, that 1.17 ERA. Opponents hitting only .185 against him. And look at that number, Bob. 1 walk against 11 strikeouts.
Yeah, and I mentioned it before. 2 of those last 3 starts for Josh Colmenter were when the Diamondbacks really needed some length out of him. One time he threw a complete game against the Giants, 8 innings against this Rockies team last time out.
Well, Tyler Matzik out of the ball game for the Rockies before his turn at bat comes up. Josh, first time through the Rockies lineup today, 6 first pitch strikes. That one misses, and it's 1-1 to Bergman, who takes the at bat for Matzik. Walt Weiss's original starting lineup, Monday and Tuesday, he had the pitcher hitting 8th. He's batting 9th today. Bergman takes Trumbo back to the track and right. And it's another 1-2-3 inning for Josh Colmenter. He has retired 8 in a row. He's got a 4-0 lead. Is set to take you to a D-backs game. Just stop by this month's participating Cox Solution Store in Casa Grande, and you can enter for your chance to win 2 seats aboard the Fan Express bus. You get a round-trip transportation to the D-backs game on June the 6th. Registration ends May 25th. For more information, visit foxsportsarizona.com. Josh Colmenter leads off the Diamondbacks' 4th against Christian Bergman on in relief of Tyler Matzik, who walked 6 in 2+ innings. So we have Colmenter, Inciarte, Trumbo 9, 1 and 2 in the Arizona 4th. Josh hit into a double play his first time. Matzik was wild early. If you're just joining us, he walked 3 batters in the first inning. Diamondbacks had the bases loaded and 1 out after 3 consecutive walks and could not get a run across. He got 3 in the second. Inciarte, a 2-out RBI single. Mark Trumbo, a 2-run homer, his 3rd of the year. Yasmani Tomas, an RBI single in the 3rd, added another run, and the Diamondbacks have a 4-0 lead. And Colmenter, who's retired 8 straight on the mound, is up there with a count of 3-1. Trumbo in 2-hole for the first time in his career. So far, so good. A walk and a homer. It's a chopper to shortstop, keeping Tulowitzki busy down there, and he throws out Colmenter.
Just thinking back to the days when your prototypical leadoff hitter was a little fast guy who could bunt and could run. Your number 2 hitter typically was a guy who could bunt and slap the ball to the other field. Not your traditional number 2 hitter. Just as likely to hit the ball out of the ballpark to the opposite field as he is to hit a ground ball to the right side.
And Mark has done so much better this year in terms of the strikeouts. The strikeout rate is down for Mark Trumbo this year. Much more of a contact hitter, uses the whole field a lot more. And so at least in those terms, he's a better fit for the 2-hole than he was last year. Ender Inciarte belts one fair down the right field line. It caroms off the wall that sort of juts out there. Cargo picks it up, and Inciarte has his 7th double. He's 2 for 3. Here comes Mark Trumbo. What about hitting second in the order, Mark?
For a long time, I've kind of hit in the 4, 5, 6, even 7 range, but I've never been any higher than that, I don't think. So it's pretty special, you know, to maybe go that long without seeing something like this. But it's it definitely fires you up.
Well, he's got Inciarte at second with 1 out.
I never really had many opportunities to hit in the top 3 slots in the lineup, but the very few times I did, I really enjoyed it because you knew you were going to get an at-bat in the first inning of the ball game. Generally, I hit 7th or 8th, and yeah, sometimes you'll hit in the 2nd, sometimes not until the 3rd inning. I like that idea, knowing you're going to bat right away.
And knowing you have Paul Goldschmidt behind you in the lineup, that can't hurt either. Guy's a whole lot of protection right there for you. Lights are on here at the ballpark. It's dark and overcast. Some blue trying to peek through over behind the left field corner. 1-0 to Trumbo. Misses. It's 2 balls and no strikes. This is Mark Trumbo going the other way in the 2nd.
I wasn't sure it was high enough to get out of here. And I mentioned Carlos Gonzalez really decoyed. You see, he backpedaled up to the warning track, looked like he was going to make a play, and that ball just whistled on into the Rockies bullpen.
3-0. Home run swing, and it's 3-1.
Don't mind that at all. 3-0, make sure it's a strike. He gets a strike out over the plate where he can extend his arms a little bit. And never mind a 3-0 hack if you get a good pitch and put a power swing on it.
There's one out here in the fourth. And Colorado pitchers have had 10 3-ball counts already today. Hold on there, Mark. Another late strike call from Adrian Johnson. We saw that happen to a Rockies hitter earlier in the ball game.
That cutter kind of started off the plate inside. I don't know if it ever got back to the corner. Mark's pretty sure it did not. Yeah, that's a bad call, Adrian.
So it's a full count, 3-2 with Inciarte, the runner at second base.
Tell you, as hot as Mark Trumbo is in this ballpark, he probably doesn't mind Adrian Johnson called that pitch a strike. He didn't want to take the walk.
He belts it to the gap in right center field. Inciarte is going to come around and make it 5-0. And Mark Trumbo just absolutely on fire in this ballpark. He's got his 5th double and his 3rd RBI of the ball game. 5-0 Diamondbacks. Take the tacos out of the humidor, Bob.
Yeah, get them out of the humidor. 3 free tacos with the purchase of a soft drink from 4 to 6 tomorrow. They love it.
Back-to-back 1-out doubles for the D-backs.
I think Trumbo might have hit that ball harder than he hit his home run. He just got a little elevation on the home run ball to get it to carry out of here. That was a screaming line drive into the gap. 100th double of his career.
All Goldschmidt fouls that one off into the seats. Let's take a look at the swing for Mark Trumbo, who once again hits it to right field, goes the other way.
Especially on those pitches up. Gets on top of him. That's a 2-hopper off the wall out there in right center.
Goldie has walked and struck out 0 for 1. 6-game hit streak coming into today. 5 of those are multi-hit games. 352 on the year. Crushes that one foul in the seats. And it's 1-2 on Goldschmidt. It's funny, you look at Trumbo's numbers in this ballpark. Goldie's done okay here, 26 career games at Coors Field. He's got a 300 lifetime average in the ballpark, but he's only homered twice at Coors Field. Does have 23 RBIs in those 26 games. Here are the numbers.
23 runs driven in those 26 games. You'll take that all day long.
And twice on Wednesday.
Yeah, there you go. And you see Goldie chokes up on that bat ever so slightly in a 2-strike count.
Strikes out for the 2nd time today. 2 down in the 4th. First strikeout for Bergman on in relief of Matzik. Here's A.J. Pollock in the cleanup spot for the first time in his career. A.J. has been up twice and walked twice. He's stolen a base and scored a run. Here's the strike, 0-1. AJ's bat has gone a little quiet as of late, hitting about $170 over his last 9 games. He was 1 for 13 at Dodger Stadium over the weekend. But he's a guy who's always hit well in this ballpark. 20 games at Coors Field, a .323 batting average. Belts it on one hop to Tulowitzki. It backs him up off the glove, and he's got no play. That was a smash right to shortstop. And the Diamondbacks will have runners in the corners with 2 outs for Tomas.
Where there has been some loud contact against Bergman in this inning. The ball hit like a bullet right at Troy Tulowitzki. Normally pretty sure-handed out there, but could only knock that one down. Had no play.
E6, the error on Tulowitzki at shortstop. So it's Trumbo at third. Pollock at first. 2 down for Tomas, who had an RBI single in his last at bat. He's 1 for 2. Tomas belts it out to left, and it drops in front of Dickerson out there. Trumbo scores. Pollock will get third, and it's 6-0 Diamondbacks. Another RBI single for Yasmani Tomas. And another 2-out hit for the D-backs.
And more solid contact in this inning. Yasmani Tomas gets a cutter up over the inside part of the plate. Thought that might hang up long enough for Dickerson to make a play. Diamondbacks been squaring him up in this inning.
Brings up Aaron Hill, who singled his last time up.
This is somewhat of an oddity for the Diamondbacks. Generally, on days that they don't take batting practice on the field, they have trouble getting the offense going early in the ballgame. Not the case today.
It's all that bottle cap baseball in the hallway.
Maybe.
That's become all the rage. Been collecting bottle caps all season long. Cliff Pennington, Tuffy Gozuish, told us on our D-backs podcast we recorded here yesterday that Cliff remembered bottle cap baseball from his Oakland days. And thought, hey, we should do that here. So they've been hoarding a little cap to water bottles, those little white caps you have on the bottles of water. And as Todd Walsh told us on the pregame show, been playing, this is it, bottle cap baseball during these long rain delays here the first 2 days.
Yeah, listening to Cliff Pennington talk about the rules, it sounds like there's plenty of see, that's a grand slam just because he made solid contact.
It's very subjective,
yeah,
bottle cap
very
baseball.
Subjective.
It's like figure skating. They have judges and you're scored. Aaron Hill gets it up in the air down the left field line, and that ball is gone. A home run. Aaron Hill, his second of the year, and the Diamondbacks have opened up a 9-0 lead at Coors Field. They've scored 9 times. Well, this is just what the doctor ordered after a quiet weekend in Los Angeles. A 1-1 pitch is out of here for Aaron Hill's second home run of the season.
We've seen as much solid contact in this 4th inning of the ball game as we saw through a lot of series earlier in the season. Everybody barreling up Christian Bergman here in this inning.
Jordan Pacheco. A 2-out RBI single by Yasmani Tomas. A 2-out 3-run homer by Aaron Hill, and it's 9-zip D-backs. So Trumbo a 2-run shot in the second. Hill a 3-run homer here in the 4th. One and 2 on Pacheco, who has walked and hit into a double play. He's 0 for 1. 8th Diamondback hitter here in the 4th inning. Two and 2.
Notice Mark Trumbo holding the back of his neck or the back of his left shoulder there. Hopefully nothing wrong.
He's fine. Leave him in there.
He's fine.
It ain't broke.
It's the pressure of carrying the entire team in this ballpark.
So far today, Trumbo batting second for the first time in his career. A walk, a 2-run homer, and an RBI double. He has scored twice. You'd have to tackle him to get him out of a game here in this ballpark.
You better bring a whole bunch of defensive linemen if you're going to tackle Mark Trumbo and keep him out of that batter's box.
He's a big boy up there at 6'4", 235. Tulowitzki right behind Arenado, and he makes another nice throw over there. Morneau to scoop it first, but the Diamondbacks get 5 in the 4th. Aaron Hill with 2 outs, a 3-run homer, and the Diamondbacks lead the Rockies 9-0. Diamondbacks put up 25 runs in 3 games. They won round 1 against the Rockies, the first meeting of the year, 2-1. And so far here, in what was supposed to be a 3-game series, we're only 3.5 innings in, but they've scored 9 times.
Boy, just blowing up here in the ball game today. Tyler Matzik did him a lot of favors in those first 2 innings, but man, have they been swinging the bats against right-handed reliever Christian Bergman.
And the Diamondbacks, who scored 4 runs in 3 games in Los Angeles, have scored 9 times in 4 innings here in Colorado. In the meantime, Josh Colmenter rolling along. He's retired the last 8 he's faced. And Charlie Blackmon leads off the Colorado 4th. Colmenter a 9-pitch first, a 10-pitch second and third so far. He's given up only 1 hit. That was Blackmon's bunt single to lead off the ball game for the Rockies. And he's up there with a count of a ball and a strike. Blackmon, Dickerson, Tulowitzki 1, 2, and 3. You suppose if we went down and asked Walt Weiss, he'd just wave the flag and give up and start the next game?
I imagine he'd like to do that at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, you never quit trying to win a Major League Baseball game, but down 9-0 early, knowing there's another game lurking after this one, he'd probably accept that. Oh, that's a nice play right there.
Jordan Pacheco catches the foul tip. You don't see that a whole lot. And Colmenter's now retired 9 straight.
I think that ball was fouled off the glove and then popped straight up in the air. Yeah, it just hit glove and then bare hand. That's a foul tip, strike 3, I believe. That's the way that's ruled.
Yeah, that's a strikeout, just the second for Colmenter. That's a tremendous play right there by Jordan Pacheco.
Great awareness.
Quick hands back there.
I've only ever seen that one other time in my entire baseball life. Johnny Bench, catching for the Reds one day, had a similar foul tip that hit his glove and actually went out toward the field. And he dove out and made a barehanded catch for strike 3.
Yeah, they rule it a strikeout for Colmenter. Dickerson, broken bat, right to Ahmed behind the bag. Boy, Colmenter is just rolling along with these quick innings.
And this looks a lot like his start against the Rockies back at Chase Field. A lot of weak contact, I mentioned. A lot of opposite field fly balls, a lot of easy ground balls. Just keeping that ball off the barrel of the Rockies' bats.
Troy Tulowitzki. Tulo struck out his first time. Diamondbacks with the overshift on the left-hand side, 3 infielders. You mentioned, Bob, Colmenter's ability to miss the bat. Walt Weiss noted that after Josh pitched so effectively against these Rockies last week. So that's something that Colmenter does really well, is keep the ball off the barrel of the bat. And Weiss said he adds, he subtracts, he changes eye levels. He knows how to pitch, and he pitches off the barrel. And we've seen that today so far. A lot of broken bats. Jam some of the left-hand hitters with that cut fastball. A lot of weak contact. Not getting solid wood on it. Tulowitzki lifts that up in the air to Inciarte in left field. And Josh Colmenter is through 4. He has now retired the last 11 Rockies he's faced, and he leads it 9-0.
That's in D-backs history, brought to you by Geico, April 27th, 2003. Brandon Webb made his first start in Game 1 of a doubleheader against the Mets that day. Hot, humid afternoon at Old Shea Stadium, and Webby brought his A game. 7 shutout innings, punched out 10 Mets hitters, and immediately got shipped back to the minor leagues.
What? Just so we didn't get a big head?
No, that was just the way it worked out. Randy was on the disabled list and coming off to pitch Game 2, so we called up Webby to pitch Game 1, backed him up with Randy in Game 2, and when Randy came off the DL, Webby went back to the minors. Not for long, though.
It looked like he was going to have a future, too.
Ooh, we really liked what we saw.
Nick Ahmed gets that up in the air, but hooks it foul down the left field line.
I mean, I can still remember the looks on some of the Mets hitters' faces as they went back to that dugout, that sinker that started right at the left-handed hitters and tailed back over the plate. I don't think anybody's seen anything quite like that before. I mean, there have been sinker ball pitchers in the big leagues, but Webby's sinker was in a class all by itself.
I heard Mark DeRosa actually talking about that very thing on MLB Network the other day, talking about Brandon Webb and that sinker, how it would look like it was coming right at you, and all of a sudden just dive 4 or 5 feet down.
Yeah, hitters had to fight their own instinct to get out of the way. Those lefties, he'd start that fastball off the plate inside. They'd freeze just momentarily, just for a split second, and that's all it took for that pitch to tail back out over the plate.
Nick Ahmed has walked and grounded out. He scored a run. Bergman is inside, and it's 2-2. Mark Trumbo, you're still kind of feeling that back shoulder, that neck area. Looks like he might have tweaked something. Ahmed chops it out near the mound. Bergman's on it, and he throws him out. Brings up Josh Colmenter. Josh has twice grounded out today. An improvised baseball game here today. We were supposed to play a day game anyway. This was supposed to be getaway day. Now it's the first of what we hope will be a doubleheader here today. Only 20 minutes in between games. We'll have both games for you right here on Fox Sports Arizona. A long day of baseball. Glad you're with us. Steve Berthiaume, Bob Brenly, Todd Walsh with you from Coors Field in downtown Denver. Josh Colmenter has got a base hit. He knocks it into center. Josh has been swinging the bat this year.
Came into this season knowing he was going to be a starting pitcher and probably get a heck of a lot more at bats this year than he's ever had in the past. So I think he took his batting practice a little more seriously in spring training this year. Just get the bat on it, put it in play. Sometimes that's all it takes for that 9-hitter in the lineup.
It brings up Ender Inciarte, who's 2 for 3. He's got a single, a double, an RBI. He's scored twice. He's also stolen a base. So Ender's now hit safely in 10 of his last 11 games at .326 on the year. And he's got a 3-hit day. Ender Inciarte knocks it into right. Josh will stop at second. So Ender is hit safely in his last 3 at-bats. He's 3 for 4, and here comes Mark Trumbo.
And the one out that Inciarte did make in this game, he hit right on the nose down to Morneau at first.
Todd Walsh is somewhere out there. Todd, where are you here in Coors Field?
I'm just playing a hunch. You guys had that spray chart earlier, right? He's got 3 opposite field home runs.
Yeah.
Is it, all right. Well, I'm thinking 4. So I just want to hang out here with all my friends.
So you're in the right field corner.
Yeah, I'm just hanging out.
Okay, now the numbers would say you should be out where Todd Helton is selling hamburgers out there in left.
I'm starving. By the way, Bob, I just want to chase this. You were talking about, obviously, if you're batting second, how much you love to get on at bat in that first inning. Mark Trumbo also saying he really liked the thought of maybe that 5th at bat. That's the juicy one.
Yep.
Well, he's had himself a day so far. A walk, a homer, and a double. He's driven in 3 and scored twice. And he looks at strike 1 from Christian Bergman.
You talk to different people in the game, and they have different ideas or different sayings that if this happens, then we're going to win the ball game. And one of them I heard from a hitting coach was, if I can get my number 3 and 4 hitter 5 at-bats in a game, we're going to win.
Taylor made double play ball right to Tulo. And they finally figure out a way to retire Trumbo. And Bergman is out of the 5th inning, but the Diamondbacks lead the Rockies 9-0. Doubleheader of divisional rivalries, beginning with the Royals and the Tigers, and then it's the Braves and the Nationals. Coverage begins Saturday, 9:30 in the morning on Fox Sports 1 and streams live on Fox Sports Go. Nationals coming to Chase Field for 3 games starting on Monday. After we play 4 with the Padres back home. Once we get out of here today, Justin Morneau leads off the 5th against Josh Colmenter, who has retired the last 11 Rockies he has faced. And how about this so far as we start the bottom of the 5th inning? Josh Colmenter has thrown 38 pitches. The Rockies have thrown 109 pitches. And Josh coming off a 9-pitch 4th. Morneau gets this one in the air deep to center field. A.J. Pollock will watch it go. Justin Morneau, his 3rd of the year. And the Rockies are on the board. It's 9-1. That's just their 2nd hit today. A 1-0 pitch to dead center field. And it's a 9-1 ball game. Just the 2nd home run given up this year by Josh Colmenter, a hanging curveball.
Yeah, curveball just didn't take the break. That's a common complaint here at Coors Field. Trying to get some movement on your breaking pitches. AJ tries to climb the barrier out there, but that one lands out there where Bambi lives.
You can see Josh, that's on me, saying. Nolan Arenado flied out his first time. Just trying to get the curveball over there for a strike, but he left it up. And Nolan Arenado, always a dangerous hitter up there. Batting .314 coming into the ball game today. He rifles one down the left field line. That's a fair ball. It one hops the wall. Inciarte plays the carom. Arenado in at 2nd. And he is in there. He's still okay. His 9th double. Almost fell off the bag, but Jim Wolf says safe. Well, he's got 15 extra base hits already this year, Nolan Arenado.
Nice play out there by Ender. That's about as good as you can do it, playing it off the wall. Quick relay into second base, but Arenado with that late awkward slide kind of rolled his right ankle. Good move by Aaron Hill to keep the tag on him just in case he did come off the bag after that awkward slide.
Colmenter, who had retired 11 straight coming into the inning, gives up a homer and a double. And now he'll work to Gonzalez with Arenado at 2nd and still nobody out. Carr going a 3-2 pitch, popped up to short his first time.
Partner, it's not uncommon for a pitcher spotted a big lead early in the ball game. You start throwing strikes, pitch to contact, let your defense work behind you, and occasionally some of those balls are going to find holes. In the case of Arenado, down in the left field corner, or Morneau over the fence.
Pitching to the game score is what Jack Morris always called it, and of course that's been one of the debates about Jack Morris's Hall of Fame candidacy. He said oftentimes he did pitch to the game score, and that's why some of his numbers are a little inflated in terms of the ERA and the runs allowed.
Well, you tell your pitchers with a big lead in the game, don't walk anybody. Don't give them the opportunity to have a big inning by putting guys on base. So you tend to throw more hittable pitches, and if the opposing team can swing the bats the way the Rockies can, they're going to get some hits.
There's that changeup dropping down and away from the left-hand hitter, and it's a ball and 2 strikes to Gonzalez. Misses there. It's even 2-2. They're trying to get Cargo's bat going. He had just 2 hits at Petco Park in San Diego last weekend, where the Rockies were swept by the Padres. He struck out 6 times in that series, including 3 times in the Sunday series finale. And he went just 2 for 9 in the series prior to that, when the Rockies dropped 2 of 3 at Chase Field. Up and in, misses. It's full, 3-2. Nick Hundley is on deck. Base hit. Stu Cole will stop Arenado at third in a 9-1 ball game. And Gonzalez has a single. 3 straight base hits for the Rockies to open up the 5th against Josh Colmenter.
Just throwing strikes into full count pitch, rather. A little cut fastball right in the middle of the plate. Just does get it over the head of Aaron Hill. And trailing by 8, Stu Cole's not going to take any chances down there at third base with nobody out in the inning. So the Colorado Rockies have runners on the corners for Nick Hundley.
And still nobody out. Hundley lined out to shortstop his first time. He's got a 9-game hitting streak on the line here today. And is batting over 400 during that streak. He's at .324 on the year. Hits a fly ball to the left field corner. Inciarte at the wall, and he's got it. Ender Inciarte takes a home run away from Nick Hundley. Arenado tags and scores, and it's a 9-2 ball game. But Ender Inciarte takes the home run away from the Rockies catcher.
Right at the barrier out there, just to the right of the 347 mark. He goes up. Not sure if that was going to leave the ballpark, but certainly extra bases if it hits high off of that wall. Arenado's able to tag and walk home with that run from third base.
Gonzalez still at first, now 1 out in a 9-2 ball game, and here's DJ LeMahieu. Pitcher spot is due up next for the Rockies. Daniel Descalso is in the on-deck circle. LeMahieu grounded out his first time up. We've got partly blue sky here, part cloud cover. We're getting a little bit of drizzle sort of down the first baseline area, right about where LeMahieu fouls that one off. Some clouds moving in from our right. And rain is in the forecast for this afternoon. A lot of weather here this week.
Yeah, we're told this weekend there's an outside chance for some snow flurries. Temperature's supposed to drop down into the 40s.
Might snow on the poor Dodgers. 0-2 on LeMahieu. I hope it snows a foot. LeMahieu strikes out.
Every day this weekend.
Yes. Sled dogs in the streets.
Boy, Josh has one of his better cut fastballs working today. He's really got a lot of flat movement away from the right-handed hitters, but there have been occasional starts in the past where he didn't get the kind of cut he was looking for, and some of those fastballs stayed right over the heart of the plate.
Daniel Descalso now, just 3 hits and 30 at-bats to start the year. And he looks at strike one. Descalso came over from St. Louis in the offseason, hitless in his last 17 plate appearances, with a batting average right at 100. Reaches down and pokes it into the seats. It's 0-2. Descalso, they got him for his postseason experience, some veteran leadership, and his versatility. Started games at shortstop, first base, second base already this year. Two misses away. Yes, strike three called. Adrian Johnson rings him up. 4 strikeouts for Josh Colmenter. Rockies get 2, though, makes it a 9-2 ball game. Here's what's next, brought to you by CenturyLink, Goldie, Pollock, and Tomas in the Arizona 6th. Live streaming sports service is celebrating 13 years. You can watch every out-of-market game live or on demand in True HD on over 400 mobile and connected devices. You'll get real-time highlights, live look-ins, the good old pitch tracking widgets, and a whole lot more. Blackout rules do apply, so visit MLB.tv for details. Well, here is Ken Roberts, the left-hander, just called up from AAA Albuquerque on Saturday. Made his first big league appearance Sunday. Retired all 3 batters he faced at Petco Park in San Diego.
There's a 4-pitch arsenal out there. Will rely mostly on a fastball curveball combination. Throws a splitter for his changeup and also has a slider he'll use to the lefties.
He faces the heart of the Diamondback order here. Goldie, Pollock, Tomas 3, 4, and 5 in the Arizona 6th, leading 9-2. Goldie so far a walk and 2 strikeouts. Diamondbacks have out-hit the Rockies 10-4. They lead it 9-2. A 2-run homer by Trumbo in the 2nd and a 3-run homer by Aaron Hill in the 4th. Those have been the big offensive blows so far for the Diamondbacks. Trumbo's driven in 3. Inciarte has 3 hits. He scored twice. A.J. Pollock has walked twice and reached on an error. He scored 2 runs. Aaron Hill a pair of hits. And Goldie has been swinging for the fences so far today. He's down a ball and 2 strikes. That's a nice little pitch there.
Fans, when the D-backs win, you win at Papa John's. A day after every Diamondbacks victory, you get 50% off your regular menu price online order at Papa John's. Enter promo code D-backs50. PapaJohns.com.
2-2. Goldie said after the loss in LA on Sunday that the Diamondbacks want and need more than anything else to play better as an offense than how they did those last 3 games at Dodger Stadium. And so far, so good here at Coors Field. It's full 3-2. Goldie said, you know, it was kind of the same thing against Pittsburgh when they were swept at home a couple of weekends ago by the Pirates, mentioning that series. The Dodger series went about the same way. They scored just 4 runs in those 3 games, but they put up 9 so far here. That's in the seats. Eighth pitch of the at-bat coming up. A.J. Pollock on deck. Goldie strikes out for the 3rd time today, 1 down.
It's refreshing, not that Goldie has struck out 3 times in this ball game, but that the team has been able to put up a 9 spot without Goldie really contributing much. He did draw one of the 3 walks back in the 1st inning against Tyler Matzik, but was stranded. Yeah, usually as Goldie goes, the D-backs go offensively, but today it's everybody around him so far in this game.
Really good locations there, too, from Ken Roberts on those pitches to Goldie. Down and away, and the ball had some life on it. He made some really good pitches in that at bat. Pollock is down 0-1 now. Ken Roberts, drafted by the Rockies as a 25th round pick out of Middle Tennessee State. He's a Blue Raider. That was back in 2010. Spent most of last year at AA Tulsa, went 9-2 with a 2.30 ERA, so he's got a pretty good track record. AJ bangs that into center field. His first hit. And Pollock aboard for the 4th time, and he stretches it into a double. 4th double on the year for A.J. Pollock. He has walked twice, reached on an error, and now a 1-out double in the 6th.
A.J. squares up another one. Got the left-handed throwing Blackman moving to his right. Good time for A.J. to take a chance.
Brings up Yasmani Tomas, who's 2 for 3, a pair of singles. He is driven in 2. Tomas at 308 on the year now. 6 RBIs. And Chip Hale said last week he had planned on almost going every other day with Yasmani Tomas in the lineup with Jake Lamb injured, but Yasmani is doing a nice job, so he's been in there and he's been producing, and for the most part has played pretty fair defense as well. And Chip says they are seeing that raw power that everybody saw. D-backs actually saw it early when Tomas first arrived in Scottsdale. But Chip said he thought all the work they gave him at third base defensively tired him out a little too much. But he appears to have his legs back underneath him. A ball and a strike. Trumbo, a homer, a double, 3 RBIs. He's also walked in the ball game. The home run is 3rd of the year. That was in the 2nd inning. Aaron Hill hit a 3-run shot in the 4th. 9 runs on 11 hits for the D-backs. Tomas up the middle and into center. Andy Green is waving home A.J. Pollock. He will score. That's 3 straight RBI singles for Yasmani Tomas and a 10-2 D-backs lead.
We've seen Tomas do a lot of this season. Situational hitting. You've got a runner at second base. Finds the hole in the defense. Takes advantage. A slowly hit ball that got through the middle. No chance for Blackman to throw out A.J. at the plate.
Aaron Hill 2 for 3. A single and a home run. The home run is 2nd of the year. A 3-run shot in his last at bat. And he looks at strike 1 from Ken Roberts. This was Aaron Hill in the 4th. Just was able to keep it fair. So Aaron has hit safely in 5 straight and 6 of his last 7 games. The 0-2, he drops it into right field, a base hit. Tomas still running, heads for 3rd, and Aaron Hill is 3 for 4. 3 straight hits for the Diamondbacks. Tomas, nice job there. He saw that was just a dying quail out to short right and took advantage, took the extra base.
Fights that pitch off defensively in a 2-strike count. Little floater into right field. Yeah, you're right. Tomas got a good read. Saw that ball was going to die out there in the right field grass and easily turned the corner and advanced to 3rd.
So Ken Roberts, the left-hander, just his 2nd major league appearance. He struck out Paul Goldschmidt to start it off. But a double by Pollock, back-to-back singles by Tomas and Hill bring up Jordan Pacheco. Jordan hitless so far. He's got a 4-game hitting streak. A walk and a pair of groundouts. Get a look there at that sky overhead. Some blue streaks and some dark clouds in different spots. The sun will come and go here this afternoon. 1-1.
Well, the good news is in the 2 days of rain we've had here in Colorado, the Diamondbacks are nearly done with their ark they've been building down in the clubhouse. The animals will start gathering 2 by 2.
Pacheco hits it into center, and Charlie Blackman makes a tremendous diving catch. Tomas will tag and score the 11th Diamondback run, and it turns into an RBI for Pacheco. What a play by Charlie Blackman.
That was one instance where Jordan Pacheco probably wished the ball didn't carry as well as it does here at Coors Field. Charlie Blackman with a nice running catch going to his right and in. But Tomas was standing on the bag at third, waiting to tag up in the event Charlie did make the catch and was able to come on home.
Nick Ahmed now with 2 outs, and Aaron Hill still at first. D-backs with 3 in the second, 1 in the third, 5 in the fourth, and now 2 here in the sixth. Second time this season the Diamondbacks have scored at least 10 runs in a game, both times against these Rockies. Ahmed walked and scored in the second. He's 0 for 2. Chip Hale's Diamondbacks, the offense real quiet over the weekend in LA, but so far here 11 runs on 13 hits. 3-0 to Ahmed. Gets that corner down and away. It's 3-1. Roberts does a nice job keeping that ball down there against right-hand hitters. He's been consistently hitting that spot. Throws it there again. It's off the umpire. It hits second base umpire Jim Wolf, and both runners will stay where they are. The umpire is in play. If it hits the runner, the ball is automatically dead. The runner is out. We saw that happen to Pacheco at Dodger Stadium over the weekend. If it hits the umpire, that's considered a base hit. He is in play.
And one hopper right at Jim Wolf. Tried to hopscotch over that baseball and kicked it over to the left side of the infield.
It's a base hit and the ball is automatically dead, so no runner can advance. Walt Weiss out there having a discussion. Just nowhere for Jim Wolf to go. That was right at him. Walt saying, look, I'm having a tough day here. Can you? I don't know what he expects Jim to do there, but Ahmed's got a base hit. And here's Josh Colmenter, who singled his last time up. He's 1 for 3. And Josh Colmenter laces a foul ball down the right field line. The way they've been dropping for Josh, you thought that might hang in there. Keep the line moving here. Diamondbacks now with 14 hits. One or one.
Well, you definitely want to keep your foot on the gas, even though it's your number 9 hitting pitcher up there at the plate. We've seen 9-run leads disappear rather quickly in this ballpark. Add on every chance you get.
Another one down the right field line, and another one that slices foul. Robbie Ray and Jordan Lyles, your Game 2 pitching matchup. We'll have that for you here on Fox Sports Arizona. Game 2 scheduled to start about 20 minutes after the conclusion of Game 1. That's in there for a strike. So Roberts started the inning with a strikeout of Goldschmidt. He ends it by striking out Colmenter, but the Diamondbacks get 2 more, and they have an 11-2 lead. Be sure to get your tickets right now. Coming up on Saturday, you'll get the Josh Comenter bobblehead, courtesy of Arizona Sports 98.7 FM. May 24th, the D-backs Fedora cap, courtesy of Gila River Casinos. And on June 6th, how about this one, the Tony La Russa bobblehead, courtesy of Chevrolet. You don't want to miss any giveaway game this season, so get your tickets right now at dbacks.com. Charlie Blackmon leads off the Colorado 6th against Josh Comenter. Blackmon has singled and struck out 1 for 2. And Blackmon, a hot hitter as of late. He's got 3 home runs in his last 2 games, including Sunday's loss to the Padres at Petco Park, where he homered twice. Belts that one foul. How about this? He led off the ball game against San Diego with a home run against James Shields. His second home run in that game came off the closer, Craig Kimbrell. Pretty good. Last 7 games, 7 RBIs, a .424 average for Blackmon. He's hit safely in 7 of his last 8.
We are in the bottom of the 6th inning, and Blackmon just getting his 3rd at bat in the game as we take a look back at the home runs by Blackmon in that game at San Diego. Day game at Petco. Ball was jumping.
Shields and then Kimbrell.
That'll look good on the resume. Yeah, I was just saying, Charlie Blackmon just now getting his 3rd at bat in the ball game in the 6th inning. Josh Comenter already has 4 at bats for the Diamondbacks through 6 innings.
Blackmon a leadoff single right in front of Trumbo and right. Yeah, he had an enormous first half of the season last year, made the All-Star team. And right now he's got an OPS that's put him in the top 10 in the National League. Brings up Corey Dickerson. Rockies bullpen has been busy all day. Dickerson 0 for 2 so far. He has twice lined to shortstop. And he's been dealing with that plantar fasciitis in his left foot since about the final 2 weeks of spring training. It really flared up around about the 3rd week of April, that pain and inflammation in the tissue that runs across the bottom of the foot and connects the heel bone and the toes. Sometimes it's worse than others for him. So the worst part is when he's standing around in the outfield. It doesn't really affect him when he's hitting. But some of these long innings standing around in left field, it really acts up on him. And that's something that ended the career, essentially, of Ryan Spilborghs as a former Rocky. So that's a serious injury. A ball and a strike to Dickerson. Now this guy just hits. He's a hitter. Walt Weiss says he could wake up and hit on Christmas morning. Walt the other day had a whole bunch of them. So that kid can hit underwater.
Santa throws him a fastball, he'll be all over it.
The 2-1 is popped up. Pacheco has room near the on-deck circle. Tulo would just get out of the way. And he's got it for the first out in the 6th. All right. Tulo in no hurry to move here. I mean, you know.
He's got enough to deal with over there with that on-deck circle and the weighted bats and the donuts and rosin bag and rosin or pine tar rag.
All that stuff on the ground.
Yeah, then you got to worry about Tulo getting out of the way.
Plus, those things are really slippery, aren't they?
Yeah, they can be, yeah, especially with the metal cleats. If there's any moisture whatsoever on those rubberized on-deck circles.
Moisture? Where would we find moisture around here?
Hard to believe.
What are you, nuts? That's in the seats. Swam home last night.
Man.
The Tulo chant. Not quite as enthusiastic, down 11-2 here in the 6th.
They're just warming up for the second game.
Diamondback debut of Robbie Ray in that ball game. Jordan Lyles goes for the Rockies. pause by Coleman. Blackman holds, and Tula lines it right to Ahmed. They try to double off Blackman, but he's back in there, and Tulowitzki's 0 for 3. Speaking of Robbie Ray, let's take a look now at our Chevron upcoming pitching matchup. Game 2 right here on Fox Sports Arizona starts right about 20 minutes after this ball game ends. Robbie Ray up from Reno to take the rotation spot of the injured Archie Bradley, and Jordan Lyles goes for the Rockies. Lyles got knocked around by the Diamondbacks last week at Chase Field. 2 down now for Justin Morneau, who homered his last time up. A solo shot to lead off the 5th. A dead center field over the head of A.J. Pollock out there. And it was Morneau's 3rd of the year. He had been hitless in his previous 13 at-bats.
That is such an effective pitch. That cut fastball that starts off the plate away. The left-handed hitter sees it out of the zone, decides to take it, and then that late movement brings it right back to the corner at the bottom of the kneecaps.
The backdoor cutter. And then up and in for a ball, 1-2. Justin Morneau turns 34 this month, coming up in about 2 weeks or so. Coming off a National League batting title last year. He's won an MVP award as an American leaguer in Minnesota. And appears to have a lot of baseball left. Off the fist, a little flare, shallow center. Here comes AJ, and it'll have to drop in front. Don't want the ball to get behind him with 2 outs and Blackman on the bases, so it's a single for Morneau. And the Rockies have runners on the corners with 2 outs for Nolan Arenado.
You talk to pitchers over the years, and they'll say this is the one that hurts them more than the home runs that never seem to come down. Your outfielders have to play deep against the guys that are capable of hitting the ball out of the ballpark, and then these little floaters inevitably drop in front because guys are playing so deep.
Josh, right now at 71 pitches, 46 for strikes. Bullpen is quiet. And Josh so far through 5 2/3 has given up 2 runs on 6 hits. Blackman is the runner at 3rd. And Morneau at 1st. Nolan Arenado doubled and scored his last time up. He's 1 for 2. The double is 15th extra base hit of the year. And that's inside for a ball, 1-0. Arenado had a pair of homers in the Rockies' loss at San Diego Sunday. He had a whole bunch of home runs in that game and still got swept by the Padres. Both homers coming off James Shields. The second multi-homer game of Arenado's career. Right back to the mound. Coleman snares it. And that ends the inning as he strands 2, and through 6 he leads it 11-2. Scheduled doubleheader, 11 runs on 14 hits. Yasmani Tomas has 3 RBI singles in the ball game. The Diamondbacks have hit 2 homers. Let's take a look at those long balls right now. Mark Trumbo, a 2-run shot in the second, his 8th career home run here in this ballpark. And that comes in just 10 games. He takes it the other way, a 2-run shot. And then Aaron Hill down the left field line, a 3-run homer back in the 4th, his 2nd of the year. And now the Rockies have gone to their 4th pitcher of the afternoon. It's the left-hander Christian Friedrich. A double switch here by Walt Weiss. Tulowitzki comes out of the ball game. Rafael Ynoa will take over at shortstop and bat 9th. Pitcher spot now 3rd in the Colorado lineup. Top of the order for the Diamondbacks in the 7th. Ender Inciarte working on a 3-hit day. He's 3 for 4. There's Ynoa at shortstop. Ender singled, drove in a run, stole a base, and scored a run in the 2nd. Doubled and scored in the 4th, and singled his last time up, 3 for 4.
Second left-handed reliever in this game for Walt Weiss, and only 1 left-handed hitter in the Diamondbacks lineup today. Got a bunch of righties available down there. Maybe they're the guys that he wants to save if he's got a ball game that he thinks he can win.
Down 11-2. Trying to survive at this point, get Tulowitzki a few innings off. And that's something that Walt Weiss will have to manage all year, of course, regardless, with Tulowitzki's health and the condition of his lower body. 3-1 to Inciarte. And Trumbo on deck. Mark hitting in the 2-hole for the first time in his career today. And so far he's been on base 3 times, a walk, a homer, and a double. He's got 3 RBIs. Inciarte bounces one to LeMahieu at second base. And that's the first out here in the 7th. Mark Trumbo really likes hitting at Coors Field.
Yes,
the home run today was the gold one there at 403, and you see that in the right field portion. But look at some of the distances on those homers to left and left center. 10 games, 8 homers.
I'm just as amazed right-handers that can hit the ball 359 feet to the opposite field. That's pretty remarkable.
Ball 1. Trumbo walked in the 1st, the homer in the 2nd, RBI double in the 4th, and hit into a double play his last time.
I mean, we know when Mark gets the bat head out in front of home plate, he can hit him a ton to left field, but still has that kind of power to drive the ball to the opposite field.
Knocked it right into the Rockies bullpen out there, which has been busy all day long. He's ahead now, 2-0. His 6th year in the big leagues, his first time ever starting in the 2-hole. There's a pop-up first base side. LeMahieu and Arenado, or Morneau, pardon me. It'll be LeMahieu for the 2nd out. And it brings up Goldie, who walked his first time up today and has struck out in his last 3 at-bats. He's 0 for 3. Goldie with a 6-game hitting streak. Came into the ball game today with 15 hits in his last 27 at bats, but is hitless so far this afternoon. There's ball 1. Now this is nothing new. We see this all the time at Coors Field, but with the Rockies down 11-2, I note that Dinger, the front-running mascot, is nowhere to be seen. It's usually the way he operates. They have the lead. Suddenly he's cheerleading down there 9th inning, but 11-2 ball game, and he is gone.
I think it's a lot like taking Tulo out of a blowout game like this. Just rest him up a little bit for game 2. Maybe they've sent Dinger back to the mascot locker room.
The bouncer to 3rd. Nice scoop there by Arenado, and he throws out Goldschmidt. And Friedrich works a 1-2-3 inning. First one for the Rockies pitchers all day long. Diamondbacks lead at 11-2.
Up to the rooftop, and I've made my way back up here. This is my new favorite hangout at this place. Been coming here for so many years. I love what they've done with the joint. But Bob, I have to tell you, I know a lot of Diamondback fans do make their way up here to Denver to watch games from time to time. And you were just describing that play, that ball that dropped in front of A.J. Pollock. If you can get up here or anywhere from this perspective to see the amount of landscape from the other angle that you don't necessarily always see on TV, it's mind-boggling. That was an out everywhere else in the league, wasn't it?
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, we mentioned it. You have to play deep, respecting the power hitters in this ballpark. The way fly balls just continue to carry and carry and carry, and occasionally when they get jammed or hit one off the end, those little bloopers drop in front. Those are the ones that drive pitching coaches crazy.
And Todd's right. It is a great view from up there. David Peralta has checked into the ball game now. He's in there in left field. And Ender Inciarte has moved from left to right, replacing Mark Trumbo. So Trumbo out of the ball game, as Gonzalez belts one foul to lead off the Rockies' 7th. It's an amazing area up there. The Rockies did a brilliant job with what was just, frankly, just a dead area up there high above right field. Just dead empty seats all the time. They ripped up all the seats out there and put in that rooftop area. They got a couple of bars and restaurants up there. There's a lounge, and as you can see, all the people lined up there. And now it's become a real moneymaker for Colorado. And what was just useless empty seats, it made the ballpark look so much more bigger than it already is anyway. But now it's a little more intimate and a lot more fun. And the views from up there are spectacular. You can see the whole Denver skyline. And you really do get a sense of how much outfield there is in this ballpark. Broken bat, little flare out to Inciarte. And he's got it for the first out in the bottom of the 7th. So if you do come up to Denver, and you should, next visit for the Diamondbacks, because there's so much to do here. It's a great area, great restaurants here in lower downtown. Get on up to the rooftop and watch the Diamondbacks from up there.
I imagine you have some pretty good views of the mountains from up there as well, over the roof of the stadium, looking out to the west.
Yeah, you got the mountains back there. If you go look away from the field in the other direction, you get that. You get the train station and the great Rocky Mountains. You can see the weather coming in.
What weather?
We've got enough weather to last us a whole season here. There's Hundley. Hundley drove in a run with a fly ball, almost had a home run. Ender Inciarte made a terrific catch in the left field corner to take away at least extra bases and perhaps a homer from Hundley, whose 9-game hitting streak is on the line. And this was let's in fact make this our Chaz Roberts air conditioning cool play of the game. Inciarte in the left field corner.
Right up against the barrier, taking at least extra bases, if not a home run away from Nick Hundley.
And Ender is now moved over to right field, replacing Mark Trumbo. Peralta's out left. Ender has that catch. He's also got 3 base hits. He scored twice, has an RBI. Not a bad day so far for Ender Inciarte. Right by Stu Cole at third. It's 2-2.
Well, Ender now playing right field in front of that out-of-town scoreboard. I don't think he could take a home run away over there.
You'd have to have some serious hops.
Yeah, that area where the out-of-town scoreboard is obviously considerably higher than the yellow stripe on the fence where Ender made his catch over in left field.
Full count, 3-2 to Hundley.
First 75 pitches of the game, the only homer Josh Coleman has allowed all year. Opponents hitting .311 over those first 75 pitches, but after that, under 100.
He really does get better as the game goes along. It's amazing. And the home run that Morneau hit to lead off the 5th, just the second given up by Josh all year. You have not made your way up there yet to the rooftop, have you?
No.
They have pizza up there.
Do they really? Oh, that's reason enough to make the journey.
I thought that might do the trick. Another fly ball to left. This time Peralta trying to take extra bases away from Hundley, but not this time. It's gone. Nick Hundley, his 2nd home run of the year, now with a 10-game hitting streak. And the Rockies pull to within 8. It's 11-3.
Looked like Josh fooled him a little bit with the pitch, but Hundley able to extend his swing, get out there and hook that ball back to left field, and got a little backspin on that one. That one carried better than the one that Ender Inciarte made the nice catch on.
A 3-2 pitch, and Cole Mentor, who, as we said, had given up only 1 homer all year, has given up 2 today. Morneau in the 5th, and now Hundley in the 7th. Here's DJ LeMahieu. First pitch swing and knocks it into center for a base hit. Rafael Inoa now took over at shortstop for Tulowitzki. Comes up his first at bat. Everybody's still with their feet up down there in the bullpen. Cole Mentor at 86 pitches. 54 for strikes.
Considering this is game 1 of a doubleheader, you get a big lead in the ball game. I think you just let Josh continue to roll as long as he's effective.
Well, it's not like he doesn't have a comfortable cushion up there. Right. 11-3. Here's Inoa, hitting just under 230 for the year. He's made only 3 starts all season, playing third base and shortstop. Took over for Tulowitzki at the start of this inning. There's a strike. Inoa had a nice year last year, 115 games at AAA, hit just about 300. And then had a big impact when he came up in September, played 19 games for the Rockies the last month of last year and hit over 340. And he's shown some nice versatility with Colorado.
Tape wasn't working.
Not much is for Cargo these days.
I think Cargo's broken a couple of bats in this ball game.
The 0-2 kicks away from Pacheco, but LeMahieu stays put. Game 2 follows our ball game here this afternoon, about 20 minutes after. We're going old school on the doubleheader. No day-night separate admission deal. You just barely got enough time to write out a lineup card, and then you're going to get first pitch for game 2.
Yeah, usually as the teams are leaving the field when the ball game ends, you'll see the starting pitcher for game 2 headed down to the bullpen. They'll cross paths.
Well, that's the way they used to do it. Now you got to have separate admissions, and everybody's got to make their money. But content here if you can just get 2 games into this 3-game series. That'll be mission accomplished. Inoa gets all tied up inside, and Cole Mentor gets the strikeout. That's his 5th for Josh. 2 down in the 7th. Here's Charlie Blackmon.
You're a big fan of that song.
You know, I just laid out. If I was a hitter, that would be my walk-up song. It's old school 80s, the outfield. I always like to get a little in there once every game with Blackmon. When you were playing, they didn't even have walk-up songs, did they?
No.
Well, what do you think you would have gone with?
I don't know. Probably something Zeppelin-ish. Song remains the same. Tremendous beginning to that song.
Just no stairway, please. That's all we ask.
No stairway.
That's all we ask.
Although I will say the organist at Wrigley Field back in my playing days, Gary Pressey, he's still the organist at Wrigley Field, used to play Jingle Bell Rock when I came to the plate, and I could never figure it out. And I finally asked Gary one day, do you remember the song you used to play? He said, yeah, I played Jingle Bell Rock. I said, well, why? Well, not to get into great detail, but I took a foul tip off a very sensitive area of my body one time, and he thought Jingle Bell Rock was appropriate after that.
Jingle bell time, that's for sure. D-backs fans here with us. Finally get to see some baseball.
Yeah.
Blackman a pair of singles. He's 2 for 3. He's ahead 2 balls and no strikes. He gets it up in the air out to right field. Inciarte at the track, at the wall, and he's got it. Ender Inciarte with nice catches against the wall, both in left and now right field, and that ends the 7th inning. But the Rockies get one more. Nick Hundley, his 2nd homer of the year. And as we head to the 8th, it's 11-3 Diamondbacks. Conditioning and plumbing, choose Chaz. There you go, baby.
Yes, indeed. Red Rocks.
Tom Petty.
Oh, man, I've seen a lot of good acts there. I would highly recommend that if you get a chance to come to Denver in the summertime. I want you to come out to the ballpark and watch the D-backs, obviously, but if somebody good's playing at Red Rocks, we'll give you a hall pass for one night.
Now, you and Joan went with you on that
yeah,
one, right?
Yeah.
You saw that right at the end of last year. You were looking forward to that for months.
Man. I mean, I've seen quite a few shows at Red Rocks, and Tom Petty is my wife Jones and one of my favorites. Steve Winwood opened up. What a show. It was a little chilly, got down into the 30s. It was a little brisk out there, but what a great night.
Just don't bother trying to see Buck Cherry down there. They'll only play 3 songs and pack it in. A.J. Pollock down the right field line. And A.J. is going to head to second with his 2nd double this afternoon. And his 5th of the year. So Pollock has been up 5 times. He's reached base all 5 times. 2 walks, 2 doubles, and an error. He has so far scored 3 runs.
Yeah, playing the role of a cleanup hitter today is A.J. Pollock. He's taken it seriously. A couple of extra base hits. He hit a rocket to Tulo back in the 4th inning that he could not handle. That went as an error, and a couple of walks.
So he's in scoring position for the king of the RBI single, Yasmani Tomas. A 3 for 4 day. He's had RBI singles in his last 3 at bats. So shot to Morneau at first. He'll take it himself, and A.J. moves up 90 feet. Well, we had the rain out last night, and our director Mitch Riggin went to see a band that you were excited to go see, but didn't.
Well, I knew we had the double dip today. I had to get my rest.
Rest up and do your preparations. But
as it
Buck
turns
Cherry,
out,
they go, they play 3 songs, and the guy says, you know what, I don't feel good. We're done.
Just not feeling it tonight.
Thanks, Denver. We love you. What's the deal with that? Aaron Hill, a 3-hit day for Aaron, including a 3-run homer in the 4th, his 2nd of the year. Yeah, they have that club. In fact, I walked by it on the way over to the ballpark, the one that's just a couple of blocks over that.
Summit?
Yeah, they always have a bunch of bands there. It's a great area lower downtown. Great places to eat when you get a nice day. We haven't had one yet, but we had a bunch last year. Great place to go for lunch, sit outside. We got the great Tattered Cover bookstore right down here, one of the best independent bookstores in America. Great places to eat. A lot of bars in the area. It's a great place to come up and check out a Diamondback series.
Especially if the D-backs happen to be in town on the weekend. That's when you get some street festivals in the areas around the ballpark, so you got something to do before and after games.
1-1 to Aaron Hill. That's out of play. Ouch. He's got that protector on that front foot.
Not sure if that hit the guarded area. I think that one might have gotten him on the back leg. Take another look here. Yeah, got him up near the right knee. Just buckled underneath him as he goes down there for the second time in the at-bat.
Adrian Johnson's going to give him a minute here. Look at those shoes the umpires wear. The plate umpire always wears those heavy steel-toed shoes. It's like those old undersea divers. They're protected. The players not so much. Aaron Hill sends it out to left center field. Blackman will have it bounce in front. Can't make the sliding catch. Pollock comes in and scores the 12th Diamondback run. And it's the 4th RBI today for Aaron Hill and his 4th hit.
Well, the Rockies got one to drop in front of A.J. Pollock, and now Aaron Hill takes a full swing and hits the ball a little bit, freezing Charlie Blackman in center. And that ball just floats out there and drops in no man's land. Neither outfielder could get to it quickly enough.
So Aaron, a 4 for 5 day. He's got 4 RBIs. And here's Jordan Pacheco. 12-3 Diamondbacks. D-backs have been going stir crazy down there in the clubhouse in the hallway, playing bottle cap baseball for 2 days, and just couldn't wait to start hitting real baseballs, I guess.
You know, a lot of guys do that in the offseason. They hit small golf balls, plastic golf balls, or other small targets that are very hard to hit with a baseball bat. Maybe that bottle cap baseball got them tuned up a little bit.
Told to the story last time we played about Corey Dickerson. He's got a routine where he has his wife pitch unpopped popcorn kernels at him in the backyard.
There you go.
He goes down to the Walmart or the Sam's Club down there at home in Mississippi and gets one of those giant tubs of unpopped popcorn kernels, and his wife Beth Ann would just pitch him the popcorn kernels. She was fired as the pitcher, hired as the wife. That worked out all right, but she couldn't throw him too good, he said. Roller to shortstop, Inoa, LeMahieu, and they turn the double play. That ends the top of the 8th inning, but the Diamondbacks get one more. Now 12 runs on 16 hits, and they lead it 12-3. plus highlights of today's Major League Baseball games. You can see Fox Sports Live tonight at 11 o'clock on Fox Sports 1, or see it simulcast right here on Fox Sports Arizona at 11 p.m. Assuming we're done with the second game by then. Bottom 8, 12-3 D-backs. Josh Colmenter goes back out there. Some stirring in the Diamondback bullpen. Aaron Hill, who just fouled the ball off his leg, is out of the game now. Chris Owings takes over at second base. Pitcher spot is due up next. It's third in the Rockies order after a double switch earlier in the ball game. So Drew Stubbs is in the on-deck circle for the Rockies. Corey Dickerson 0 for 3. Colmenter creeping up on 100 pitches here to open up the 8th inning. And there is some action now in the Diamondback bullpen. Looks like it might be Enrique Burgos down there. Yep, Burgos for Arizona. There's a strike, 2-1. Boy, was he impressive Sunday at Dodger Stadium. Holy Toledo. 2 innings, had the fastball, just blowing guys away at 98, that big slider. Enrique Burgos. It's a 2-1 count to Dickerson, and now 2-2.
Well, we've seen Dickerson chase a lot of high fastballs from the Diamondback staff already this year. See if Josh Colmenter tries to go back up there one more time.
And he is up there swinging, that's for sure.
We've seen him chase pitches up above shoulder level.
Lays off that one. John Axford is warming up in the Rocky bullpen, their closer. Yeah, they love the way Dickerson is aggressive up there, enthusiastic, high energy level, contagious at the plate. That's a fair ball down the right field line. They would like to see him a little more disciplined, but they don't want to lose that energy. Inciarte can't play the carom. It rolls around out there, and Dickerson will stop at third. That one took kind of a funny bounce off the wall right at the 350 mark in the right field corner. And we'll see how they score that. Well, they roll it a triple.
That's a tough play for a right fielder, especially from the visiting team coming in here to Coors Field. You got that one little area of the stands that juts out toward the foul line. If you don't hustle over there and the ball hits that area and ricochets back toward the infield, the guy's going to end up with 3. But if you play it cautiously, it could end up doing this. By the time Inciarte runs it down, Dickerson is on third base with a triple.
Second triple this year for Corey Dickerson. Mike Harkey to the mound, trying to slow things down here for Josh at 100 pitches, 61 for strikes. And Burgos warming up in the Diamondback bullpen. Well, Drew Stubbs is coming up for the Rockies, and it's hard to imagine a worse start to a season than the one Drew Stubbs has had for Colorado. 1 for 25 with 16 strikeouts to start the year. He finally got his first hit this season over the weekend at San Diego, where they were swept by the Padres. It was a home run. That was Friday at Petco Park. Still his only hit this year. And in typical Drew Stubbs fashion, he also struck out 3 times in that ballgame. So he hits in the pitcher spot, now third in the Rockies order here, with Dickerson on third and nobody out. Hits it up in the air to deep right center field. A.J. Pollock at the track, at the wall, and it's gone. Drew Stubbs, 2 hits this year, both home runs. And it's a 12-5 ball game. That's the 3rd home run given up today by Josh Colmenter, who had given up only 1 homer all year coming into the ball game. And that's going to be it for Josh. Just about the same spot that Morneau hit his homer to lead off the 5th. Josh Colmenter exits. It's a 12-5 ball game in the 8th. Here comes Burgos back after this. squirrel. That was the Cox Gig Life high-speed highlights. Enrique Burgos on in relief of Josh Colmenter. And he'll work to Justin Morneau to open up his appearance in this ball game after Dickerson led off the inning with a triple and Drew Stubbs hit a pinch hit home run. Morneau homered back in the 5th inning. He's 2 for 3. And Burgos coming off that extremely impressive outing Sunday at Dodger Stadium when he worked 2 innings. 2 hitless innings, had a walk and 4 strikeouts. And came in extra innings, pitched that 11th, struck out Kendrick, struck out Gonzalez to end that inning. There's a bouncer into the shift. Tomas is there, and that's the first down here in the 8th. A 5-3 putout from the first base side of second. Brings up Nolan Arenado. Yeah, Enrique Burgos grew up in a hurry in that outing against the Dodgers on Sunday. Arenado 1 for 3, doubled and scored in the 5th. There's strike 1. Todd Walsh has more on Enrique Burgos. Todd.
Guys, I talked to him before this series was supposed to start about what happened at Dodger Stadium. He just talked about the preparation, the great scouting report. He was not afraid. Thought the first outing he was afraid to pitch to contact, not against the Dodgers, but it was more or less a mental thing, the way they set the table for him, armed with knowledge about what he needed to do. But he still said it feels like a dream, and he still can't believe Robbie Hammock pounded on his door at midnight. And his apartment, it was a mess. He couldn't believe it was the manager, but here he is.
Boy, he had gotten off to a great start, Enrique Burgos. Closing games for Robbie Hammock at AA Mobile, 6 saves and 7 scoreless outings. Big 24-year-old right-hander. We still have patches of blue sky overhead, but there is some raindrops now. And rain is in the forecast for this afternoon. We were told at one point this afternoon there would be a 100% chance of rain. But it's scattered clouds overhead, mostly cloudy, but little patches of blue. And the hope is that we're able to start game 2 20 minutes after this ball game ends as Arenado strikes out. 97 from Burgos.
You know, we've mentioned Enrique Burgos' father, Enrique Sr., also pitched in the big leagues, won parts of one season with the Royals and parts of one season with the Giants when I was the bullpen coach. And I wondered, why don't I remember Enrique Burgos?
Yeah.
That was a time when the late Bobby Bonds was the first base coach for Dusty Baker, and he had some physical issues, and occasionally I'd have to come in from the bullpen and coach first base, and I think it coincided with the time Enrique's dad was pitching for the Giants.
He was a professional pitcher, Enrique Burgos, for nearly 20 years, but only briefly in the major leagues. 5 games with the Royals in '93 and 5 games with the Bob Renly's Giants in '95. He spent most of his pro career pitching in the Blue Jays minor league system. And works very closely with his son on pitch grips and all kinds of stuff. They look at video together on the phone a lot. Enrique Burgos' father, of course, used to be a pro pitcher. His agent used to be D-backs GM Dave Stewart. 2-1 now to Cargo. He did not go. Doug Eddings down at 3rd. 3 balls and a strike.
Pitch up once again. Ooh, a lot closer than it looked with the naked eye.
This is at 97, a 2-out walk to Gonzalez, and it brings up Nick Hundley.
Hey, partner, we've got a bonus this day in baseball history. First of all, Monday was Rene Lashman's 70th birthday. Now, if you don't know Rene Lashman, you haven't been following Major League Baseball. This is his 52nd year in professional baseball. Just celebrated a birthday on Monday, and I've got a this day in baseball history that ties in with the Diamondbacks to a certain extent. Rene Lashman took over the Seattle Mariners, his first game as the manager there, and the pitcher's name of record that day was Mike Parrott, who is now the pitching coach in Reno for the Aces. Now, Mike Parrott at that time had an 18-game losing streak going, and when Rene Lachemann took over as the manager, Mike Parrott got the win in his first game as the Mariners manager. Rene Lachemann makes his home in Scottsdale, Arizona in the off seasons. He has been one of those baseball guys.
The lifers.
Yeah, 52 years in professional baseball, ties the late Don Zimmer for the most consecutive years in professional baseball. And I'm sure Latch will be back with somebody next year, so he will be the record holder at that point.
And Zim always used to say one of the proudest accomplishments of his life was he never drew a paycheck anywhere outside the game of baseball. Burgo's throwing hard, but he's having problems throwing strikes here.
Apparently he wasn't counting the horse track and the dog track.
Well, yeah, I mean income, you know, that at least the government knows about. 2-1.
Yeah, Rene Lachemann was part of Tony La Russa's staff in St. Louis. He was the third base coach there for Tony for a while, and back before that in the Oakland days he was a coach under Tony La Russa.
Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Hundley homered his last time up. A walk that Burgos issued to Gonzalez, the first walk issued by D-backs pitchers today. We've only seen 2, Holmenter and now Burgos. That's out of play.
Nicely done, sir. Even though you're a Rocky fan, give it to a kid.
$22,621 the attendance for game 1. We were supposed to play a day game here anyway on what was getaway day. Still is, but the question is, when will we get away after game 2, which starts 20 minutes after the conclusion of this ball game? And yes, we will have it for you here on Fox Sports Arizona.
It's a shame we couldn't have started this ball game at 10 o'clock this morning. The sun was shining. It was a beautiful morning here in Colorado.
Well, don't they do that in the minor leagues, right? When you have the getaway day and you might have a long bus ride, you start the getaway day game at 10:30 in the morning.
Yeah, they occasionally have those kids' days at the ballpark where they bring the youngsters out and start the game at 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning.
I bet players love that. It's in the dirt. It's full 3-2. Twenty pitches for Burgos so far. 10 balls, 10 strikes. LeMahieu on deck. This one is out to center field. A.J. Pollock on the run, and he won't get there. Cargo is going to score to make it a 12-6 ball game, and Nick Hundley, who homered his last at bat, has an RBI double.
Of all the bats in this Rockies lineup, Nick Hundley, the guy that's heating it up here this afternoon, he actually hit that ball way out near the end of the bat. Look how far it carries. One hops the fence out there in left center field. He's hit the ball hard every time today.
Yeah, he might have had 2 home runs in the ball game had Ender Inciarte not made a spectacular catch in the left field corner back in the 5th. It turned out to be a fairly dramatic sacrifice fly and an RBI for Hundley. Then the solo homer, now the RBI double, so he's driven in 3 of Colorado's 6 runs.
And he lined out to shortstop in his first at bat in the game back in the 3rd inning, so he's obviously seen it well here in game 1 today.
DJ LeMahieu singled his last time up. Second in the National League in hitting at .390 behind only Miami's D. Gordon. 12-16-0 for the Diamondbacks, 6-11-1 for Colorado. And that's ball 1. Enrique Burgos really not throwing strikes, not locating all that well here today. Keeping the people behind the scoreboard busy anyway. 97 is in there. It's 1-1. See that front leg of LeMahieu? He used to have a big front leg kick, one of those, sort of Carlos Gonzalez front leg kicks. That front foot would come way off the ground. He's really toned it down this year. It still comes up, but just a smidge. And he's been much better on off-speed pitches with that quicker leg kick. Gets that front foot down a lot sooner. And he's able to react to the ball quicker, he says. That's in there for a strike. 1-2. Look back at Adrian Johnson.
Just off the inside corner, and Pacheco, after sitting up on the outside corner, had to reach back across the plate and was actually pushing that one farther out of the zone. That's why LeMahieu was arguing.
1-2 pitch. And he strikes out LeMahieu to end the inning. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Burgos. But the Rockies get 3. And we go to the 9th. It's now a 12-6 ball game. Is brought to you in part by Goodwill, where your good deeds are working. Rocky Mountain High, Diamondbacks with all kinds of offense here. 12 runs on 16 hits, and they lead it 12-6 as we start the 9th inning. New pitcher for the Rockies. Their closer just trying to get some work in here. It's John Axford, the former Milwaukee Brewer closer, now here in Colorado. And he's making his 6th appearance of the year.
Axford has not pitched since the 27th of April. He got the save in that game against the Diamondbacks. He's hasn't had many opportunities to get out there in the 9th inning with the lead. Just an inning to tune up here.
Now the Rockies are reeling. They have lost 5 straight and 11 of their last 15 games. They have really fallen on hard times as of late after that 7-2 start. Drew Stubbs, who homered in a pinch hit appearance, will stay in the game. He'll take over for Corey Dickerson in left field. Still mostly cloudy. We do have some patches of blue, but there is some raindrops. There are some raindrops out there in the field. Just one of those weird days where it's sunny and cloudy and raining and all. Nick Ahmed will lead off the Arizona 9th. Pitcher spot is due up next. Danny Dorn is in the on-deck circle. And Oliver Perez had been throwing in the Diamondback bullpen. They'll hit for Burgos here, so we will likely see Perez in the bottom of the 9th. Nick Ahmed's been on base twice today. Walked and scored in the 2nd. A single his last time up. Well, this ball game really symptomatic of what's been wrong with the Rockies, not just lately, but as long as they've been around. It's starting pitching. Tyler Matzik was a mess to start this ball game. He walked 6. He walked 3 straight batters in the first inning. And wound up tying his career high with 6 walks issued. So now in 17 of the Rockies' 25 games this year, the starting pitcher has worked just 5 innings or less.
Boy, that is such a strain on a bullpen and an offense for that matter.
Now the Rockies rotation had an ERA of 5.19 coming into the ball game, which was the worst in the National League. Ahmed on base for the 3rd time today. That's his 2nd walk.
Yeah, early in the 2nd month of the season here, and you look at the National League team statistics, and it's exactly what you would expect. The Rockies lead the National League in team batting average. They are dead last in team ERA, over a half a run more than the Milwaukee Brewers, and right in the middle of the pack defensively. It seems like that's the way it'll be probably for the remainder of the season.
Yep. Danny Dorn, 1 for 5 so far to start his big league career. He's got a pair of walks as well. And Dorn belts it into right, a base hit. Danny Dorn's 2nd big league hit. Ahmed running all the way, heads into 3rd. Base hit for Danny Dorn.
Jumped on the first delivery he sees from John Axford. A little cut fastball right in the middle of the plate. Yeah, Nick Ahmed held up just ever so slightly, but then he saw Carlos Gonzalez back up a step to field that big hop, and that's when he turned the corner at 2nd and makes it all the way to 3rd base.
They're on the corners with no outs for Ender Inciarte, already with 3 hits today. Ender 3 for 5. RBI single and a run scored in the 2nd. Doubled and scored in the 4th, and had a single in the 5th. He's also stolen a base. Rockies bullpen busy again. Boone Logan is out there throwing.
Boy, from one series to the next, in the 3 games in LA against the Dodgers, the Diamondbacks were 2 for 17 with runners in scoring position. 8 for 18 in the ball game today.
You know, it's just been like this all year. They have series where they just can't do anything offensively, like we saw against Pittsburgh, like we saw over the weekend against LA. And then series where they just score runs in bunches. It's been very much feast or famine.
Yeah, and all due respect to the starting pitchers we faced in that Dodger series, but it wasn't Zach Greinke and Clayton Kershaw and Ryu or Brandon McCarthy or any of their other top starters. It was pretty much the bottom of the rotation.
You had Carlos Frias, you had Scott Baker, and then Brett Anderson, who pitched so well on Sunday. And a real pitcher's duel with Chase Anderson in that ball game. Eventually won by the Dodgers in the 13th inning on the Grandal walk-off homer. 1-2 on Ender now. Missed inside. It's even 2 balls and 2 strikes. This is belted into right. Ahmed will come in and score. RBI single for Ender Inciarte. That's his 4th hit today. And the Diamondbacks have a 13-6 lead. First 3 have reached for the D-backs in the 9th against John Axford. 18 hits now. That matches a season high. The last time the Diamondbacks did that, April 17th at San Francisco, they won that game 9-zip.
A real nice 2-strike approach there. Ender kind of gets his weight out on his front foot, but keeps his hands back. It's that little line drive into right field to drive home another run.
He's got 4 hits. He's got 2 RBIs. He scored 2 runs. Here's Walt Weiss. We've had Logan warming. Peralta, the left-hand hitter, is coming up for the Diamondbacks, and that's going to be it for John Axford, who fails to retire a batter. Pitching change, 13-6 D-backs. Back after this. Well, we're trying to play 2 here this afternoon at Coors Field, but Walt Weiss is on his 6th pitcher of the ball game in Game 1. It's the veteran Boone Logan, his 10th appearance of the year.
I see the numbers for Logan this season. In 8 2/3, he's given up 10 hits, walked 2, hit 2. A lot of traffic on the bases when the Rockies left. He's been in there.
And there's traffic out there right now. Dorn is the runner at second. Inciarte at first. Still no outs here in the 9th. A run in. And the batter is David Peralta. David's first at bat this afternoon, hitting .245 on the year. And another opportunity for David to get at bat against a left-hand pitcher, something that he's been working on. .245 and 3 homers. He had 3 hits in the series against the Rockies last week at Chase Field, 2 doubles and a home run. Also walked 3 times in one of those ball games. And David only got 5 at bats in the 3 games at Dodger Stadium this weekend. Had a single and a base on balls. He's been struggling to get some ABs the last week or so. We always say, well, it's a nice problem to have. You got all these outfielders, but it is a problem for somebody. And it's been tough to find David regular at bats. This is upstairs. It's even 2 balls and 2 strikes. Evan Marshall has started throwing in the Diamondback bullpen. Rockies bullpen is busy as well. Scott O'Bird throwing for Colorado down there. Peralta strikes out. First out here in the 9th. Perez throwing as well. He's been throwing for a while down there now. Here's Goldie. Diamondbacks have scored 13 runs on 18 hits, and Paul Goldschmidt is hitless today. He has struck out 3 times, grounded out, and walked.
I said it before. I take that as a huge positive. The team finds a way to get guys on base and chase them around there without Goldie being the main guy to propel the offense.
He's going to hit one 440 feet right here just to put a period on things. Inciarte, 4 hits, 2 RBIs. Trumbo had 2 hits, a double and a homer. He drove in 3. Tomas, 3 RBI singles. Pollock has reached base 5 times in the ball game. Aaron Hill, a 4-hit day. But Goldie with a 6-game hitting streak. The reach base safely streak versus the Rockies still intact. He walked his first time up today. Dorn is the runner at second. Inciarte at first. One and 2. Slider there from Boone Logan.
Yeah, he's not your typical soft tossing lefty. Boone Logan has a good fastball in the low to mid 90s, and that sharp late breaking slider gets a lot of swings and misses from the righties.
Very definition of that back foot slider from the lefty into the righty. And Goldie strikes out for the 4th time today.
We say it all the time. You come to the ballpark to see something that you haven't seen before or you rarely see. Well, Goldie striking out 4 times and going 0 for 5 is something you rarely see.
And something we've never seen before. A.J. Pollock in the cleanup spot. And boy, has that worked out well. He's been on base 5 times, 2 walks and 2 doubles. He's scored 4 runs. That's in there for a strike. First career start in the cleanup spot. And AJ's always hit in this ballpark. 20 games at Coors Field coming into today, a .323 batting average. Two walks, 2 doubles, 4 runs scored. He's stolen a base. Not a bad afternoon. Boone Logan tying these guys up in knots.
Paul Goldschmidt and now A.J. Pollock must have a little issue picking up the rotation on that slider down and in. We saw Goldie swing right over a couple of those. Now A.J. Pollock does the same.
Today, just the 4th career 4 strikeout game for Paul Goldschmidt. Last time it happened July 1st of 2013. A.J. just misses one. It's foul. If you're just joining us, you've missed a lot of Diamondback offense, obviously, and Game 2 will start right here on Fox Sports Arizona 20 minutes after this ball game ends. 13 runs and 18 hits. What are we doing between games? Are we? Does Todd Walsh have a monologue ready?
I'm not really sure.
We need Todd to fill about 20 minutes or so.
I'm not used to these double dips.
I'm told we'll have Phil programming. I don't know who Phil is, but he better be ready.
Bottle cap baseball highlights.
3 and 2 down. 2 on, 2 outs for AJ. Yasmani Tomas, 3 RBI singles would be next. There go the runners. We'll do it one more time. Logan was a key acquisition for the Rockies before last season. They targeted him as a free agent they'd like to bring in here. Gave him 3 years, $16.5 million. This is the second year of his 3-year deal. That kicks away from Hundley. The runner's in motion. It's ball 4. And they'll have the bases loaded for Tomas.
Boy, AJ's seeing the ball really well right now. He's hit the ball hard 3 times. He's drawn 3 base on balls. Really, the only bad swing he took was that first slider he swung over the top of. He was on everything else.
He's been up 6 times. He's reached base 6 times. 2 walks, an error, 2 doubles. Now make it 3 walks. Here comes Walt Weiss walking to the mound.
I wonder how many doubleheaders Walt Weiss has managed before, because he's burning through an awful lot of pitchers. It seems unnecessary at this point.
He's going to his 7th pitcher of Game 1. Back after this. He's certainly managing that way. In the first game of a doubleheader, he's brought in his 7th pitcher of the ball game and his 3rd in the 9th inning. Scott Oberg on for the 9th time this year, the ERA near 6.5. And he inherits a bases loaded 2-out mess, and Yasmani Tomas at the plate. Tomas already with 3 RBI singles in the ball game. He's 3 for 5. Danny Dorn is the runner at 3rd, Ender Inciarte at 2nd, and A.J. Pollock at 1st. 13-6 Diamondbacks, 2 outs, top 9. Bases full for Tomas. Tomas struck out in the first. Sorry, Bob.
No,
RBI
right.
singles in the 3rd, 4th, and 6th. He grounded out his last time up. What do you think about 3 pitchers in the 9th?
Yeah, this is very, very odd. I mean, just the fact these guys got warmed up and now they're in the ball game. I mean, chances are they can come back and give you a few hitters, maybe even an inning in game 2. But I don't understand why he's burning through so many pitchers. This is a situation where usually you have that one guy in the bullpen who takes one for the team. Hey, listen, we're not going to throw 7 pitchers in a ball game. Trailing by 7 runs in the 9th inning, you're just going to have to go out there and figure out a way to get 3 outs. I'm not going to burn any more relief pitchers with another game coming up.
Bounce to the hole, and at shortstop. Backhand scoop by Morneau is there, and Tomas grounds out with the bases loaded. And the top of the 9th finally ends, but the Diamondbacks get one more. Bottom 9 coming up. They lead at 13-6. Half of the 9th inning here at Coors Field. Steve Berthune, Bob Brentley, and Todd Walsh with you here on Fox Sports Arizona. A reminder, game 2 of our doubleheader will start 20 minutes after this game ends, so don't wander too far off. Oliver Perez will work the bottom of the 9th, the 3rd Diamondbacks pitcher out there today. Josh Colmenter in line for his 3rd win. Diamondbacks, if you go back to the previous series at Chase Field where they won games 2 and 3 of that 3-game set, Cliff Pennington replaces Tomas at 3rd. So now in 3 wins, assuming this one is they're able to hang on here. 3 wins versus Colorado, Diamondbacks have scored 34 runs. So when they beat the Rockies, Arizona averaging 11.5 runs a game in those victories. Rafael Yanoa, the shortstop, took over in the 7th inning for Troy Tulowitzki, leads off the Colorado 9th. Game 2, Robbie Ray makes his D-backs debut, taking a rotation spot of Archie Bradley. Jordan Lyles will go for the Rockies.
Now maybe the fact that Walt Weiss ran through a whole can of bullpen there in that 9th inning speaks to the confidence he has in Jordan Lyles, his game 2 starter, getting deep into the ball game.
I got to give it up to Dinger, BB.
Yeah.
13-6, and he's kind of wearing it right now. He's out there showing his face. Dinger, the front running mascot. Usually you don't see Dinger. We like to have fun with Dinger because, unless they're winning. But here he is, 9th inning, down 13-6, and just hanging out with the kiddies down there. So nice job, Dinger. What's more fun than a big purple triceratops? That's what I always say. We like to give Dinger a hard time, but he does a solid job.
I think in the first 8.5 innings of a ball game, when he's generally MIA, he's probably out signing autographs for kids and posing for pictures on the concourse.
We are told he has other duties during the ball game, but he always manages to show his face. I guess he has a face. Shows it up in the 9th inning. You ever have those Dippin' Dots? They sell them down on the Conga. He looks like a big Dippin' Dot, doesn't he?
He does.
With the purple and the dots and the whole thing. This is a 93 right there. It's full 3-2.
Oliver Perez really throwing hard today. Fastball 93, 94. A little extra zip in the thin air. Throwing it right through the air molecules.
Thank you, Mr. Science. It's the molecules. Yeah, there's Dinger's spot. He usually sets up right behind home plate. He likes to get some face time. He's like the guy from the Marlins. Remember the Marlins man in the World Series last year? The guy who always wear that bright orange shirt behind home plate.
Yeah.
Hey, Dinger's kind of like the Marlins man of mascots. Just plants himself right back there. This is in the air. An easy play in right field for Ender Inciarte. And that's the first out here in the bottom of the 9th.
Boy, did Ender have him played perfectly. In a 2-strike count, he moved over closer to the right field line and much more shallow and was right where he needed to be on that high fly ball.
The leadoff man, Charlie Blackmon, 2 for 4, a pair of singles. Michael McHenry, the backup catcher, is in the on-deck circle.
That'd be the last position player available to Walt Weiss today, the backup catcher, Mike McHenry.
Pitcher spot is due up next, now second in the Rocky order. There's a strike, 0-1. Some heavy cloud cover moving in from the right field side, just to our right here. A bouncer up the middle. Ahmed will charge. Boy, Nick Ahmed makes that play look so easy. 2 outs.
Well, there's just no wasted steps. Once that ball is into his glove, he quickly exchanges into the throwing hand and throws on the move as good as anybody. Charging that ball hard. He knows Blackmon is quick. In and out of the glove. Good throw to Goldie to get the out.
And 1 out to go. It's the backup catcher, Michael McHenry, hitting for the pitcher here with 2 outs in the 9th inning. McHenry at .240 on the year. He started Sunday's Rockies loss at San Diego, went 1 for 3 with a double and an RBI. So as soon as this one is over, we will start counting down to game 2 of the scheduled doubleheader. 20 minutes after the final out here, we'll have the opening pitch of game 2. Ray and Lyles, your pitching matchup. So don't wander too far off. Full day of Diamondback baseball here on Fox Sports Arizona. And then after game 2, whenever that ends, it's on a plane back home. 4 against the Padres starting tomorrow, with the first Throwback Thursday of the year. And we are told, by the way, to celebrate the first Throwback Thursday, the Diamondbacks will be wearing the purple uniforms. Gonzo will be live tweeting during the ball game.
Nice, nice.
So get on the Twitter and look for Gonzo's tweets. I'm not sure Gonzo knows how to tweet, but hopefully they'll get that worked out. I'm sure he'll have some help.
Junior Spivey and Augie Ojeda are scheduled to be at the ballpark that night, signing some autographs, answering some questions. Guys that formerly wore the purple.
So it took about 6 weeks or so, but our first Throwback Thursday of the year comes up tomorrow. Opener of a 4-game set against San Diego. Every Thursday home game this year. Hashtag Throwback Thursday on the Twitter. McHenry draws a 2-out walk. That brings up Drew Stubbs, who homered his last time up, his first at bat in this ball game. He's got 2 hits on the year, both home runs. 2 for 26. And it hit him.
Drop down slider that just ran all the way across the plate. Chased Stubbs out of there. Looked like it caught him on that front leg, maybe just below the knee.
Brings up Justin Morneau, who's got a home run. He led off the 5th with a solo shot, his 3rd of the year. Morneau 2 for 4. 2 on, 2 outs, bottom 9. This is inside, ball 1. Did you get the Doppler up there on the old iPad?
Yeah, it looks like we might be okay. I mean, it's hard to tell. As we've seen the last couple of days, the storms tend to hit the ballpark, move along, and then come right back again.
Morneau dunks one into left center field. They're going to wave McHenry. He will score. They'll stop Stubbs at 3rd. And Morneau is in there with an RBI double. And it's now a 13-7 ball game. That's Morneau's 3rd hit, and 7 runs for the Rockies here at Coors means they get tacos.
Yeah, they had to work a little harder for theirs. Morneau gets a pitch up and out over the plate with 2 outs in the inning. The runners are on the move. So McHenry will score easily from second base. Drew Stubbs, and that bruise on his left knee, heads into 3rd.
Well, they've got the dangerous Nolan Arenado coming up. So Chip Hale goes to his bullpen. It's now 13-7, still trying to get that final out. Back after this. Rockies have runners at 2nd and 3rd. Nolan Arenado is the hitter. And Brad Ziegler comes in to try and get that final out. Brad had a rough inning Saturday at Dodger Stadium. Worked 1 inning, gave up a walk, 3 singles, and a run. He's on for the 12th time this year. Despite that outing, his ERA for the year is still under 1. He's been outstanding. Drew Stubbs is the runner at 3rd. Justin Morneau down there at 2nd. A run in for the Rockies. And Nolan Arenado steps up. He doubled and scored in the 5th, 1 for 4. In the hole, Nick Ahmed, the backhand stop and the long throw, and he got him at first. Nick Ahmed, a beauty. And the Diamondbacks close out a 13-7 win in Game 1 of our doubleheader here at Coors Field. Nick Ahmed, well, it's been a day for offense, Bob, but we close with some defense from the Diamondbacks shortstop.
What else would you expect from Nick Ahmed? Makes all the plays, coming in, going right, going left. Nice stretch over